I could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunner, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man don't try, but you won't go get him a lawyer. What's up with that? You popping bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we done got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the feds, they never coming home. Can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster. Ruger rap. Top gunner, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out.
How's everybody doing tonight? Your boy back in the building, man. Of course, this is episode 5 in a series that I created concerning Mr. Karmelo Anthony situation and how it makes everything worse for Black people. If this your first time, you just stumbling across me, you don't understand what's going on, go check out the other. I suggest over the weekend you go check out the other 4 parts of this and stay with me. You're gonna see where I'm going. Y'all gonna understand why I titled it this and what I mean by it. I do live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This was supposed to be a Monday scheduled episode, but I was feeling a little congested and I was kind of like coughing, and so I ended up getting a prescription and with some things that was very made me drowsy, to say the least. So I was kind of trying to shake that all week, but I'm one of those type of people that I don't never use a prescription. If I take one, I don't use it I use it like until I'm like 80%, 85%, then I cut it, you feel me? Because, you know, especially with that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? It kind of gets you, so that was dead on that, you feel me? So I'm good now. You know, but yeah, that's why I wasn't able, because I just been kind of like my sleep schedule got messed up, you know what I'm saying? Because of that, I was drowsy. And this week kind of was like a little blur. And I didn't get a lot of stuff done I was supposed to get done. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do live streams on all kind of situations dealing with politics, social justice issues, all of the things that's going on in this world, entertainment, anything. And what I do is I package those things up and I unpackage them for the viewer, for myself as well, on how can it affect my life. And if it's something bad, how can we course correct or be, because we have to understand in life, we have to be proactive in our life. We can't always be reactive. That's getting old. That's played out, especially if you somebody over 25 with children or over 30, period. You should be at a point in your life where you are proactive with everything, whether it be relationship, whatever. You should be proactive in making sure that, okay, I need to understand what I'm getting myself into, count the cost, and understand if this is something that I want to do. And that's, like I say, with anything. And so, yeah, so that's what I do on this channel, just to give you a brief introduction. But like I said, I'm not going to hold y'all too long, because like I say, Monday I was supposed to do this episode because there's a lot of things I wanted to speak in over the weekend that went on with the Juneteenth. And it's so funny to me, man. Black people are, and you know, it's just sad, man. It's so sad. There's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna show y'all a few exhibits. But it's just like I say, this is the opening of the show. This is not the main course. So I'm gonna just play a few little things and speak on them, like what happened during the Juneteenth weekend, a weekend that y'all was supposed to be celebrating. Although it's something silly in my opinion to celebrate, if that's what you want to do, cool. And we know black people, they just like celebrating anything. They look for any reason to put that hula on their head or whatever. But even on just the weekend, nobody could say, and if I played everything, it would take up the whole show. So I'm not. I'm just gonna play a few things. But the fight, the killing that took place this past Juneteenth weekend, was basically, for lack of words, I would say embarrassing to the black community. Another black eye for our community. A time when we supposed to come together and be celebrating freedom. We was doing what we always do: fight and kill each other. Of course, I know everybody's seen went viral with a big old brawl. I'm talking like a Royal Rumble brawl that took place at a carnival cruise, and I'm lost to understand. Okay, so is this a situation where it was a family reunion or a large group of friends, or is just somebody, or was it just two people and then they friend? Because this brawl that I seen at carnival, it's impossible for all of these people to be on one cruise ship and be beefing. So it had to be some, you know what I'm saying, something silly, and I guess everybody, but it was a brawl. You got to go check it out. This happened over the weekend. Chicago, they had a couple people that was actually killed. I want to say about 6, and over 30 people shot. They had some plays that they was actually doing, I believe, in the Atlanta area. Really probably all around, but this particular one was in the Atlanta area where the people was dressing up like slaves. And I'm like, black people, man. You know, like I say, bro, I say this all the time. If I could die and come back another race, I would come back black every day of the week, 2 times on Sunday. But bro, we are very, very embarrassing. And people love to play the whole, well, all of them ain't like that, all of them ain't like that. That's fine. We know that it's never all or nothing. But the majority is what counts. And when the watching world sees all this, the watching world, America is watching all of what's going on. And black people, and this is my thing. This is why I'm not a black conservative, but I'm a conservative that's black. Because I be wanting to get people to understand. Because it's clear black people don't understand. Because if they did understand it, like the scripture tells us, and all you're getting an understanding, they wouldn't constantly be on all social media platforms every day of the week, whining and complaining and blaming white people and why people treat them this way and why this and why that. They wouldn't be doing that because they would say, well, you know what? Right or wrong, we understand. That's why, again, the scripture tells us, and all you're getting an understanding, because you have to be able to understand and process things. When you view everything through race, it automatically lowers your IQ, and you don't want to get an understanding. You just looking at it from a race perspective, which is very, very silly. And this is why we are in the predicament that we are in, and we are persona non grata to the world. I mean, if you even listen to these people in other countries, when they see black people, like, oh Lord, you know what I'm saying? We have earned this. And it's not about our skin color, it's about our reputation. We have earned this. We can't get mad at nobody about it. What we have to do is stop doubling down on stupid and come together as a community and course correct. Come together as a community and say, look, we have a problem. We know there's a lot of people that's educated and successful in our community, but let's stop worrying about that right now. But let's come together and course correct the wrong, because the wrong is overpowering the right in our community at this point. And it's so embarrassing, and it's hurting us. It's hurting us in ways we don't even know, because the people who are in power, the silent majority, they don't operate like we operate. They operate from a systematic standpoint. And again, that's why I made this series, because but I'm not gonna get off into that right now. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, these people handle things systematically. So this is why Yvette is working at a company and she's been there for 20 years, but she gets skipped over for a promotion. This is why your children go to court and get over sentenced as first offender. All of the things, and that's just two small, minute things. But on a grand scale, Black people don't own nothing. They're not in power. And so when you call yourself in situations like this Carmelo Anthony situation and you celebrating this, because this in your mind, in your small mind, this is your way of getting back at white people for something that happened to your great grandparents. And you think in your mind you're getting a small victory because that young man life was taken. Number one, you playing a serious, deadly game. Celebrating somebody's child death or anybody's death could bring a curse on you, or it could skip you and go to your children. Whatever happened at that track meet that day, we got video surveillance that came out because Friday was my last episode, and I was after I got off, I kind of started saying maybe should I keep going on this or should I let it go? And no sooner than I got off live, the video was released, and you can clearly see the video. The video is not all that clear, but what you can clearly see is it's two pushes. Right, it's a push. I'm guessing from Mr. Metcalf, and it's Carmelo pushing a knife in Metcalf's chest, and he takes off running. It wasn't no him being jumped, as we all knew. And let's just say he was getting jumped. Why did he run away like he did after he stabbed that boy? Why did he stay and say, touch me again? Which was testified under oath by multiple people from both sides, that this is what he said. Which is why he got found guilty of murder. Me being a person who know law, who understand law, who's been in these type of situations, he was supposed to get charged with manslaughter. And now it had also come out that he was offered a manslaughter plea, but his parent refused it because they seen that this was drawing a lot of traction because of a race thing, and they knew how beneficial that could be. So they took that chance and went to trial, and it hurt them and Paul Carmelo. And the reason why I say Paul Carmelo, although he made a mistake that day, he's still a young kid. He came up in a very toxic household. Why do I say that? I say that for the simple fact that, as we all see, his daddy is very, very weak. His daddy is very docile. He's a beta male. He probably was raised by his mom, or he was raised in a household where a woman wore the pants. And so he felt like that's the only right way to go. So that's what he's doing. He let his woman speak, which I've been saying this since when I first reported on this last year when it happened. First thing I noticed when the press conference happened and took place was the woman was speaking. In no situation where there's a tragedy happening in a family, my wife's supposed to speak. My wife is the softer version of the family. I'm the stronger version of the family. I represent the family. Whatever happened with me, my whole family going to reflect of that. Whoever I am as a man, my family reflects from that. And the order of Christ is God and man, man over woman, woman over children, children, God and Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, woman over children. And anytime that spiritual order is messed up or mixed up, it's not gonna go right. And so when you had a woman over the man, which like I say in his situation, that's almost as toxic and worse than a single parent household, because it messes the whole spiritual order up in the house that trickles down to the children. So Mr. Carmelo, why I say he not only did he come up in that household, he's the victim of a trash culture that needs to be deleted, that needs to be completely threw away and redone. This culture that we have, this shoot 'em up, bang bang, let's fight. I'm a tough guy. All that. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna do it. That has to be eradicated, but we can't eradicate it because the music is always in our ears, right? And we know 17-year-old Carmelo had some AirPods in his ear. We know he was probably listening to NBA Youngboy, one of these rappers that don't talk about nothing but shoot 'em up, bang bang negativity. And here it is. And this, people say it was raining, so I don't know if it was raining, right? But what I do know in that video is this: whenever he stabbed Austin, he ran really fast on them bleachers and without slipping or nothing. And walking on bleachers without it being raining is very slippery. And if you run on them, you guaranteed to fall. So for him not to even fall when he was running, I'm at the point now where I don't even know if it was raining. But again, I wasn't there. I don't know. Maybe it was. And then I do think I seen some puddles of the body cam when he was getting arrested. And Mr. Carmelo said himself, I did it. It's not alleged. I did it. He never told the cop nothing about, oh, they was jumping me or nothing like that. He told the cop, hey, I told him not to put his hands on me. So this came out his mouth, not mine, not nobody else. This came out his mouth. Yeah, but that's what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be diving back into that. But before I get into it, before I go any further, I want to talk about this Juneteenth thing briefly, and I want to speak on another situation before I get in the main course of this episode. But let's talk about the Juneteenth and some of the things that took place over Juneteenth.
Mass shooting leaves a dozen people hurt. Now, we're told that one of those individuals who was shot during this attack, 26-year-old man, brought here in critical condition to the University of Chicago Hospital. The investigation, as you can imagine, is in its early stages, but what we're hearing from Chicago police is that the attack is the result of a drive-by where a vehicle simply pulled up to this large crowd of individuals and then opened fire. Now, it all unfolded overnight in the city's south side. Chicago police say that there were calls for help about a person shot began around 11 p.m. last night. Responding officers arrived at the 200 block of West 95th Street to first find a 32-year-old woman and a 44-year-old man wounded. Both had been shot multiple times. Upon further investigation, police found several other people had also been attacked. In all, there were about a dozen victims, 4 women, 8 men, ranging in age from 17 to 47 years old. Mass shooting leaves a dozen people hurt. Now, we're told that one of those individuals who was shot during this attack, 26-year-old man, brought here in critical condition to the University of Chicago Hospital. The investigation, as you can imagine, is in its early stages, but what we're hearing from Chicago police is that the attack is the result of a drive-by where a vehicle simply pulled up to this large crowd of individuals and then opened fire. Now, it all unfolded overnight in the city's south side.
And the funny thing is, those same people that's out here, all the way out there, 5150 behind Carmelo and supporting him, they won't say nothing with situation like that happen. Quiet as a church house mouse. You won't hear the Obamas. That's their hometown. You won't hear Al Sharpton. You won't hear Ben Crump. You won't hear Jammin' Crash Out Crockett. You won't hear none of these race hustlers. Umar, you won't hear none of them say nothing about that situation, right?
Everybody, yes. Everybody stop now. Everybody stop now.
All that happened over the weekend. All that happened over the weekend, man. Juneteenth, baby. But it's one of them I wanted to show y'all how ridiculous black people acted and how ridiculous. Where is it at? Gotta show y'all this. This was crazy. Oh, here you go, right here.
These people are stupid. Black people who do this and believe this will never succeed, and their kids will never be anything in America. You're gonna get left behind. You still playing slave master and slave, and people are doing AI, and they rich, and they going off and leaving you somewhere. Y'all gonna be victimhood is not gonna last long. And let me just say this: I want y'all to understand this. When you see black people today talking about slavery, when you see them referring to their ancestors and they're showing people in chains, these people are stupid. They jump over 100 years of history of black history to go back to slavery. They got to jump over all this black success that happened post-slavery to go back to slavery. They got to jump past George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, you name it. Madam C.J. Walker, the first female millionaire out of any race. They got to jump past all the inventions, Black Wall Street, Harlem. They got to jump past all that to get to slavery because they don't have nothing to go off of. They got to jump past today. 70% of women having these kids out of wedlock. You got to jump back to. They got to jump over the time where black people were 70% in a 2-parent household. They got to jump past all that black success. Black people having their own schools, their own university, Tuskegee University. They got to jump past all of that to go back to slavery. These people are stupid.
Well, see, I want to show y'all something too before we get into today's episode and dive into that. I want to show y'all something right quick. Y'all seen the fight in an airplane. I know a lot of y'all also seen the big brawl on Carnival Cruise this weekend. But I want to show y'all something. I want to show you guys something. Especially the non-white people that may be on my live. I want to show y'all something right fast as well. I want to show y'all something right fast. I know y'all got questions, right? But again, this is not only for the black. Not only for people that's non-white. This is for the black. I want y'all to understand something. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. I know y'all say to yourselves, why is this like this? Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second.
You see me around. Yeah, you see me around. You see me around. Yeah, you see me around.
I might have to go to it. Let me see. So, people in the watching world, and people in the watching world, y'all may say, why is these people, why does black people, everywhere that they go, they fight, they violent, if they not killing each other, they somewhat fight, whether it be an airplane, a cruise, an airport, school, the workplace, wherever they go, the club, it's the lounge, the restaurant, is some form of fighting or violence going on with them. Well, there's several reasons for that, right? There's several reasons for that. And I'm not going to get into all of them on this particular episode, but I will address this one situation that happened in my hometown yesterday. This is why. I want to show y'all something real quick.
You see me around. Yeah, you see me around.
This is why.
You see me around. Yeah, you see me around. Oh my gosh.
Now, what that was, you guys, that was, hold on. That was two so-called black leaders in my hometown, right? And so when you look at the black community, going back to what I just mentioned, when you look at the black community, you say, why? Why are they always fighting? Why are they always at each other's throat wherever they go, no matter where they at school, at the amusement park, airport, cruise, air, as you just seen on the airplane? Why are they like that? Again, there's many reasons that I won't get into on this episode. If you like subscribing and come on this channel, go look at some of my old videos. You'll see me break that down in different episodes. But in this particular episode, I want to use that particular exhibit to tell you this is why. This is why. This is why when y'all see and y'all don't understand, or y'all sitting down somewhere, and again, if you're non-white, this is your explanation. And if you're black, this is what you need to be course correcting. This is what you need to be trying to fix. But when you see all of this fighting and chaos within the black community, every single place we go, and you don't understand why, this is one of the main reasons why. Because this is what their leaders are doing. Now, these are two leaders. So I'm gonna read the caption. Before I read the caption, I want to say this. These are two black leaders, right? Two black, I would say, I guess, successful leaders in our community. One of the guys I know is at least 60 plus, the red guy. The other guy, I don't know. I know he's some type of, he's in some form of leadership in my hometown. And these two individuals almost came to blows, bro. These two, listen, this not Pookie and Ray Ray at the club. This not Tyrone and Jamal at the basketball court in the hood after a bad dice game or bad or hard foul. These are two supposed to be successful, God-fearing leaders in elected office and positions in my hometown. And this is how they're acting. So when you sit back and you don't understand why, this is why. One of the many reasons why. This is how their leaders act. This is how their leaders act, man. You mean to tell me, and I'm not for it when it comes to education and well, let me not say that. I would say indoctrination, but because I would put my education against theirs, not for it as like receipts from a scholastic institution. I don't have. They both have, I'm sure. And I wouldn't act like that. And again, I'm gonna tell you where they were as well. This was an event. This wasn't no, and it still shouldn't be happening. As two grown men of y'all supposed to be stats and y'all supposed to be leaders. Yeah, you know what leader mean? See, people don't understand leader. They don't understand that word, leader. They think leader is just grandeur and money and opportunities. No, leader is you are looked up to. You are supposed to have a standard. That's why the scripture tells us, you who want to be leaders, you shouldn't want to be leaders because you get judged worship. But see, everybody want to be this. Everybody want the clout. Everybody want power, but they don't understand what come with that. Man, two leaders, man, I've been in that situation, man, and me and another politician, like I said, if it was on that type of level, because if it's on some street stuff, again, I shouldn't, at my age, I shouldn't be in that type of situation. Because the places that I put myself at is places where I know that this type of energy not gonna even be there, right? This type of energy don't go where I go. But if it's a city, because I like, let's just do this, I like amusement parks, right? I like amusement parks, I like fairs, I like rodeos, and it's sometime that these, but again, this energy is something that has to be, it has to have it can't just, ain't nobody walking around just punching nobody. It has to happen for some reason. You skipped me in a line or you stepped on my shoes or something like that. So see me, I move with a purpose at all time, everywhere that I'm going. Right? That's number one. Number two, I don't put myself in certain situations. Right? And I'm speaking from a standpoint of me personally, somebody who is not at day level in the Black leadership community or nothing like that there. And even me, I'm not about to fight you or do none of that. Because it's not even gonna get there. If I see if me and you having a conversation and I see your energy getting there, I'm a move around because I understand. I've been in prison. I know how it go. I know it don't take but and bam, somebody in prison, somebody buried. As a matter of fact, it's funny that we talking about this Carmelo situation. It don't take none of this. And somebody going to the funeral home and somebody going to prison, or somebody going to the ER and somebody going to prison, right? I know that. So I'm not even going to do that. If me and you having a debate about something or whatever, and I see you starting to get disrespectful and your energy going somewhere else, I'm going to move around. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody but me. Because guess what? Ain't you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if I'd have been on that level, or when I get to that level, or if I'm on that level at this point with certain people, listen, bro, it would have never got to that, right? These brothers in suits. Listen, man, I'm in my suit. You know what I mean? Listen, check this out. If it's a situation that I see you getting like that, and we at this level, we at an event, people watching, America's watching. Hey, bro, check this out. Calm down. Calm down. We gonna, if I don't got your information, I'm sure they got each other information. But it wasn't nothing serious. It wasn't no situation where one of them was messing with each other's wife, one of them had messed with each other's children. It wasn't nothing like that. Because those type of situations, I understand, heat of the moment, hey, bro, it might, you know what I'm saying? But you still got to keep your emotions in check and regulated. You're a grown man. And America is watching. Right? But anyway, so I'm one of them. Hey, bro, hold up. You put your hand in my face. Hey, bro, chill out. Look, maybe we got off on the wrong foot. So check this out. Meet me at so-and-so steakhouse. Meet me at so-and-so sushi, whatever, on me, and we're gonna have a conversation. You bring your team, your wife, and I bring my team, my wife. We're gonna go sit down. We're gonna everything on me. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna have us a nice A5 Kobe Wagyu steak. Or maybe your doctor told you what my doctor told me. Hey man, take it easy on the beach. So we're gonna have us some Japanese yellowtail. And we're gonna go sit down at that restaurant. Oh, I invite you to my crib. But what we not gonna do, as two supposed to be black leaders in position, we're not gonna do that in front of nobody. As a matter of fact, we're not gonna do that in private. Because I'm gonna handle the situation like a man. Men don't act like that. I understand Nobody as an adult should act like that, but I understand women are emotional. Sometimes their emotions make them be impulsive. But again, this is what the black man is showcasing. This is what the black people are showcasing. And then you got all the black people, and this is another thing about black people that's bad, that's hurting them. They like to double down on foolishness. So you got a whole bunch of them in the comments talking about white people do it too. Look what just happened with the Pastor Tony Spell. Completely different situation. Somebody threatened this man's wife, threatened his daughter, they're gonna rape him or whatever like that there. And guess what? Maybe he could have handled it a better way. He could have as a preacher, because I don't think the dude put his hand on him first. Now, when somebody put their hand on you first, that's kind of like a violation. But just for somebody's word, but again, coming at verbally saying something like that about my wife, my daughter, it might get ugly. I can't speak for nobody, but I won't judge Tony Spell for that. That's a different situation. This wasn't that situation. And I want to add this too. This is so funny about black people. This is a funny thing about black people that always caught me off guard, and I felt like it's weird since I came into the knowledge. And that is, only time they'll say, but white people do it, which is their favorite line, but white people do it too. They only say that when it's something bad. They never say that when it's something good. They never say that when it comes to keeping their family together. They never say that when it comes to performing nepotism for each other. They never say that when it comes to performing community, not generational wealth, community generational wealth, meaning for you and everybody who look like you. They never say this when you talk about building and creating things like corporations and internet and stuff like that that makes the world turn. Beautifying the neighborhoods that to the point where everybody want to move there. They never talk about, but white people do it too when it comes to the good, is only the bad. But I digress. So I want to read the comments. I want to read the caption on this video. I'm going to play it one more time. And after that, we're going to get into today's episode. This is what the video says. The caption to the video. So a councilman, so one of the guys, a councilman, points his finger in the face of the head of African American Chamber of Commerce for saying he is violating a city ordinance which prevents homeowners from using their property as junkyards with broken down cars. The council sittleman, Ronnie Harvey, after the meeting, points his finger in the man who is old enough to be his father's face, calls him the B word. Again, this is not what we're supposed to do over a political issue. Not because you're disrespecting my wife, my mother, my children, but over a political issue, you calling somebody old enough to be your father the B word? Calls him a B word, threatens to beat him up in a crowded hall of onlookers, moves aggressively towards him while dropping multiple F-bombs. The other person, Mr. Fitzgerald Darbone, is trying to leave the building, and some call him a gentle giant. There was nothing gentleman about his lack of self-control or his total absence of diplomacy. Question is his junk trucks piled in his yard against the law? If so, he is not above the law, simply led by example. Do what you expect the people who voted for you to do. Obey the law. Only one of these guys is an elected official. He should certainly apologize to his voters and attempt to make peace with the business leader as a true sign of diplomacy. I am also shocked that Mr. Harvey is an administrator with the school board working with children. Amazing. See what I told y'all? See? Why the children like this? This is their leaders. Let's continue. Which I am certain has been violated. His code of moral clause. Not a good look for the school board or city council. To add insult, the police are now investigating Mr. Harvey. Ran into the police first to attempt to claim to be the victim, to use his own words, B word. I'm saying I'm not going to curse. I don't curse. The head of the Lake Charles City Council sets the tone of the room and the meeting. This was a complete failure of leadership and not only an embarrassment to the city, but the state and all of us who work tirelessly to vote to make sure African Americans are at the table to help write and enforce municipal policy. Now you have given those who are not like us a headline, and I told you so, and I told you so moment. Again, this is what they expect, and they're not wrong for expecting that, because why? Do you expect? It's almost like I tell people, give you a quick analogy, right? It's not racist for these people to expect that. It's not racist for these people to expect that. Why is that? Because if I go on my porch right now and I see a stray cat on my porch, I'm not gonna be afraid of that cat. Because why am I not gonna be afraid of that cat? Because I'm not gonna be afraid of that cat because I know that cats don't hurt people. Cats don't just randomly attack people. Not, I'm saying maybe like lion, but I'm talking about, y'all know where I'm at. But if I go on my porch and I see an alligator out there, a snake, alligator is less aggressive than a snake, because if a snake on my porch and I try to pass him, he might bite me. An alligator, he might just go about his business. He's not gonna, but I'm just saying, I will be more startled, and I love animals. I don't love snakes, but I love gators. But I'm gonna be more startled and afraid when I see that snake or the alligator, because why? They have a history of hurting people. So it's not that I hate animals, I hate alligators. It's the simple fact that I'm just judging them of repetition. And so when you say, oh, they look for us to do it, they look for y'all to act this way because this is y'all pattern. Y'all have pattern recognition of acting like this. Again, this is a let me read the credentials again. The older guy is the head of African American Chamber of Commerce. And the younger guy, who was being the gangster and calling the dude and doing all that, the quote unquote initiator, was a councilman, a city councilman. And this is the way he acted in front of all these people, just complete embarrassment to the race. But again, this is why the children and everybody in the community act like this, because our so-called leaders, this is how they conduct themselves. I'm gonna play this video one more time for you guys, and then we're gonna get into the exhibit for today's show.
Oh my gosh. You see me around. Yeah, you see me around. Oh my gosh. You see me around. Yeah, you see me around.
So let's get into today's show, man. Let's get into today's show. And yeah, so like I said, I want to read an op-ed. I'm gonna read the op-ed. I want to play a few exhibits for you guys who may be just tuning in. Maybe this may be your first time seeing me. But I want to play a few exhibits to speak where I'm coming from, because you may not understand why I titled this live or this series why the Carmelo Anthony situation makes everything worse for black people. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to be completely honest. I have to be transparent. This Carmelo Anthony situation, and listen, this Carmelo Anthony situation have completely. I'm really looking for words because forfeits ain't good enough. Appalled is not good enough. I'm trying to think of a word that I can describe the way this Carmelo Anthony situation has made me look at black people. And I'm black. I'm black. Blackity black. And the way this situation have made me look at black people, bro, and the way they, after the video, and first they lied and said it was a cliche. All of the lies have been debunked. What I'm seeing from Black America, bro, and doubling down and supporting this dude has me at a loss for words. But it explains a lot to me. It explains to me why black community is in a current stasis as I speak, and they're regressing. When you have a community that is so hateful, so unforgiving of something that happened to their great grandparent, to the point where a situation happened with two children, life didn't even get started. Might have been still virgins. I doubt it in this day and age. But again, I digress. Two children, a situation that happened with two children. And because the one who died was white, everybody is supporting Carmelo, knowing that he made a mistake. Yes. Yes, he did. He made a mistake. Was he over sentenced? In my opinion, absolutely. Was he charged with the wrong charge? Murder when he should have been charged with manslaughter? Absolutely. But if I was the Metcalf family, I wouldn't be saying that. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just speaking from my perspective. But to come out and say he's a self-defense and he's not guilty, that's just being disingenuous. That's showing hate. That's showing unforgiveness. And you know what, bro? When you got hate in your heart, it make you look stupid. You don't know you look stupid, but it make you look stupid. And not only do it make you look stupid, again, the world is watching. And again, like I was speaking about when I spoke about the Charlie Kirk situation, black people didn't have to say nothing. Black people didn't have to say nothing. They could have just kept quiet on this. Hey, bro, situation took place. We kill each other every day. Hey, bro, God bless the family, the Metcalf family. God be with Carmelo and his situation. Yeah, but they went to social media and showed the world. You know, they used to always say, the old people used to say, it's better to be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. But this is the problem with this situation, and this is why I named this series this. Because see, now we have social media. So the hate that y'all allowed to come out of y'all mouth via social media, everybody is seeing this. And here's the problem with that, black people. Y'all don't own nothing. Y'all don't build nothing. And it's not because of Jim Crow. It's not because of the white man. It's because as soon as y'all get any type of money, as soon as y'all get that quote unquote check, meaning 100K or better a year, y'all don't think about, let me get with some of my other friends that make 100K and come up with a 10-year vision of how much money we're going to put aside per month so we can start a corporation for our children and for us to one day be able to retire ourselves and create this community generational wealth for our family or for our community. No, we take trips. Our closets look like Versace boutiques. I mean, Neiman Marcus boutiques. our teeth perfect, our BBLs fat. We got all the newest foreign cars. We look good. We look good. And black people got the gift of influence. So when other people adapt that, we say they try to be like us. No, they don't. We just got the gift of influence and we know how to style. We know how to make things look very good. We're entertaining. We have our strengths and weaknesses like everybody else, but that's one of our strengths. But I'm not rich. This is the thing we do when we wealthy. We got money. And for the small percentage of us that may have a position somewhere, we don't throw that rope ladder down for our people like everybody else do, because we know how black people is, and we don't want to mess up our good name with Mr. Charlie. And another thing, you see all these, even these rappers and these athletes, majority of these black athletes, they whole team is white people and Jewish people, especially these rappers. Now the entourage, the ones who gonna take a bullet or give a bullet for them when they go out, they black. But the accountant, the manager, the publicist, the agent, these are white and Jewish people, because black people don't even trust black people. So even when we get in position to help each other, we don't. When you talk about corporations and building and creating things that make the world turn, or like I say, doing corporations, having corporations that employ hundreds or thousands of people, we don't have that. But the people who do, seeing all this. And see, white people looking at it from a perspective of like this. This could be one of our children, that these people, because they hate us, because they were raised to hate us as soon as they came out of the womb, most black people, they are celebrating the death of this child. That could be our child. But just the fact that they celebrating the death of a child because he's white, all right. All right. Black people, it's y'all fault that Chinese man got found not guilty for killing that little boy. It's y'all fault, come close, that Carmelo got 35 years. You pissing off the people who run this country. Who would want to do that? The scripts even talk about pissing off the king. And guess what? Whether you like it or not, black people, you're not the king in America. You're not even a prince in America. You are a cupbearer. That's what you is. You're a cupbearer with a bunch of gold on. You ain't got no power in America, black man, black woman. You think you do. They'll give you a little bit to, but they not gonna allow it. And then guess what? It's not because they're racist. Some of them may be, but for the most part, it's not because they're racist. It's because they are human beings. And anybody eventually gets tired of being pope. I've been telling black people this for years. Leave white people alone. Because the average white person, do they have racist white people? Absolutely. But guess what I've learned about racist white people? Guess what I learned about them? From experience. I worked with two Peckerwoods. And if y'all don't know what Peckerwood, that's a racist group in Texas. Was my boss and my underboss. Right? And these two white boys helped me because they see the difference between white people and black people is they able to separate that when it comes down to the green dollar, right? And so I was one of the best workers at this particular job site that I was on. And guess what? They went to bat for me, both of them, on more than one occasion, saved me because I was young at that time. And these white boys was openly racist. It wasn't like they would hide it and they would openly say stuff, not call nobody no N-word. Not they wasn't gonna do that, but they would openly say stuff like, hey man, we went out last night and these two black women was, and I was like, we wouldn't dare touch a black. This how racist they wouldn't touch a black one. I don't believe that, but that's what they say. I believe it. Cause now I know they won't reproduce with a black person because they don't believe in that. I think it's what it's called the 18, I forgot what it's called, but they got a number that they go by. And they want their bloodline to stay pure. They don't believe in they'll disown a family member if they mess with somebody black or any other race. They want their bloodline to be pure. But again, they will say stuff to me sometimes about how black people think. They will say nothing but things that would be looked at as racist. But me, even at that point in time, when I hadn't came in the knowledge yet, I still wasn't a liberal. I still wasn't a soft dude because I was raised with my father. I was raised in a two-parent household. So I wasn't never emotional. So I just listen to what they say. And then, that's just how they felt. You know what I'm saying? And they also would let me know that this is how we was raised. You feel me? This is how we was raised. You know what I'm saying? And when one of the guys ended up getting messing up, because he skipped over a whole bunch of people to put his partner as underboss. And once something had happened with him, I don't know, I think he moved or something happened with him. And he put one of my homeboys as underboss, who was a black dude. And they had other white dudes on the crew that was extremely talented. And they had a little racist. I remember the other dude, but anyway, long story short, I'm just saying. So they able to hide that. And they racist is, look, we just don't want to. And when you have situations like this, it makes it worse. And I wouldn't say this the straw that broke the camel's back, but this straw affected the camel. This didn't really, the best way I can word it is, it didn't break the camel's back, but this is the straw that pissed the camel off. Charlie Kirk situation was one thing, and this because this is a child. And people is actually pissing on this man's grave and beating random people up, saying that they was on the jury. This is how this has gotten completely out of hand. And again, let's be honest about it. White people are the adults in the room. Let's go ahead on and be honest about it. Because guess what? They 60% of the population, number one. If they wanted to say, you know what? Let's eradicate the black race. Let's just go ahead. Because they just, there's more of them that's bad than good. Let's go ahead and just wipe all of them out. Would it affect the bottom line? Money, when I say bottom line, yes, but it wouldn't be too bad. We would be able to sustain it. And of course, all of these people that's over here, that's legal immigrant, the Arab, the Chinese, everybody that's over, even with the African, they black, so they might get slaughtered with it, but probably not. Everybody that's over here that's legal, which is all these people come here and they adapt the white way by putting because every community got 2 trees. I'm gonna get into that in a second. But guess what? All of these people that's over here, successful, thriving, doing their thing and not blaming nobody, looking at America as not a place where I'm gonna be oppressed, but a place of opportunity. They come here, they gonna join forces with the white people. They're not gonna take our side. I don't care how these people treat you at work. I don't care how, when they come down, they're gonna join the white people's side because they know one thing. Number one, white people is in power, money, power, respect. Number one. And number two, you niggas don't even stick together. So what would make them think you're going to stick? What would make them think, oh, we're going to ride with some people who don't even love themselves? They kill each other at alarming rates. And not only do they kill themselves and kill each other at alarming rate, they rap and brag and glorify it. You think we're going to take their side? No, we're going to take the white people's side and join them. And yeah, you're right. Let's just go ahead and get rid of black people. Let's go ahead and just get rid of them because so white people are the adults in the room. They got, you know what? We're not going to do them there. Because although we would be able to sustain the financial loss, it would hurt us a lot. So let's keep them here. But guess what? When we still got the power, so we're going to let them get their little social media and get their little small win that they think that they're getting, celebrating the death of a kid because a black dude did it. But guess what? We're going to hit them where it hurt. There's a whole bunch of children, little young black boys and little young black girls or black people, period, that's going to get bam all this year, all this month. And anytime they think about their situation, that's their way of getting back. That's not racism. That's being a human being. That's tired of people poking at you when you're trying to move forward. You think these people had to let Obama in there? Nope. But they wanted to do that to say this is our last change, this is our last, which they used him anyway, and he was a willing participant because he's evil and gay. So they used him because they wanted him to be known as the first president to pass. They wanted him to be known because they could have been passed gay laws. I mean, the gay same-sex and all that stuff. But they're going to say, we're going to stamp this on Obama, which is also was a spiritual test. And I don't want to really go off too deep in that. But for the Christians, especially blacks, this was for y'all to know, do y'all support me, talking about God, or do y'all support skin color? Because if you support me, you wouldn't have never voted for Obama because he had all of these pro-gay laws and LGBT and passing same sex. But because you don't worship me, you worship skin color, you say, you know what, I'm going to overlook all of that and vote for him because he's black. But I'll be to church on Sunday, speaking in tongues, tearing a rug, but I'm voting for that black man. I don't care what he's doing. But I digress on that. Anyways. And so when you have situations like this, and I've noticed, I'm on the internet too, white people have got more loose now. They let people know, look, we're done. And like I say, you'll have to go back and look at all these episodes. This part 5, white people are tired at this point. And again, black people don't own anything because see, every community have 2 trees in their community. And these trees have several branches, right? And every community, the white community, the Chinese community, the Asian community, everybody that come here community, they operate off that same 2-tree system. That 2-tree system is education and capitalism. That is the 2 trees that every race in America operates off. While Black America, they operate on their own. They're unique in this fashion. They operate off 2 trees too. Now, education and capitalism, instead of being a tree in that community, it's a branch. It's a branch on each tree. Their 2 trees is social justice and social media. Everything about them revolves around woe to me because I'm black, oh, I'm oppressed in America, or how many likes can I get? How can I do this and get likes on social media? You can't go nowhere with these niggas, bro. You can't be around them. It's like everywhere they go. You go to the airport and TSA, they stumbling over you, bumping all over you, going live. They can't go to a restaurant without taking a picture of the food. They can't go, they go to work. They taking pictures of the work of patients, and they all that's their whole life. This is why they can't build. This is why they can't create. This is why their IQ is low. Because these things lower your IQ. All these other people looking at America that's why I say Black people don't understand how the world works. They don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't be acting this way. Because they would say to themselves, okay, yes, I'm glad Austin Metcalf was killed by a black person, but I'm going to keep that to myself. I don't want to piss the boss off because I don't own nothing. I don't own nothing. My cousin don't own nothing. My daddy don't own nothing. We all had to work, whether we got good jobs or not. The job that you work for, the company, the corporation, the firm is almost 9 times out of 10 owned by a white man. And that other 1% is somebody from a foreign country. Niggas don't own nothing. My cousin, the CEO of Taco Bell. He the CEO of a company that was owned and created by a white man. And he can get replaced any given moment. But here it is. Instead of keeping these things to yourself, y'all go on TikTok. Y'all go on Twitter. Y'all want the white people to fit. And just saying some of the dumbest stuff. But again, because Black people operate from those 2 trees, that everything is focused on skin color or how can I be viewed by social media with this situation. Like even these women, you can't even date these women. That's why these women is so much in the mess today. Because they're comparing their life to what's going on social media, what's going on baddies. They can't even, you heard me? Social media has the Black community in a chokehold. I always say, I think that was the last coffin in the casket of Black America. When you see these fights and all this y'all be seeing, This is something that derived from social media. This is their life. So when they wake up in the morning, before they brush their teeth, they picking up the phone, see how many likes they got, see what's going on social media, see if they can find some tea on. So this is how their mind works. And if it's not on that, it's on something dealing with because I'm black. So let's just say they get the education, right? Okay, that's instead of that being a tree, that's a branch on their social justice tree and their social media tree. I'm the first black to do this. Okay. Even though I'm black, I still did this. Okay. You're an American citizen. America is not a white man's country. It's a strategic man's country. Yes, it's majority white, but it's anybody who has a strategy and a plan can make it in America. If you are not making it in America, if you are below, you're doing bad, it's because you had bad parents, maybe good people, but bad parents, and or bad choices that you made. That's the only way you're doing bad in America. It's not because of the white man. Now, are we now being affected when it comes to employment? Absolutely. Look at what's going on in the world. I seen a video the other day where a woman, an Amazon driver, skipped. They had this big old nice yard. They had a driveway. She drove on the lawn to deliver an Amazon package. These people can get her. They could do anything. I don't know if they can sue, but if she let's just say she got an oil leak or something and it ruined up out in their grass. These people, some people care about their yard. People care about their yard more than y'all believe. They got on tape. Everybody got Ring cameras now. Why did you do that? They had a whole driveway. And the woman, for her, I want to say this to be fair, she was pregnant. But again, you could have drove on a driveway all the way up, and you still had to go up some steps to get on the porch. You still had to do it. All kind of stuff you see, like I told y'all about the situation with the two little black girls working at Smoothie King, refused service to some white people because they had a Trump hoodie on. Refused service to both of them because the husband, not both of them didn't have, but refused service to a couple because the husband had a Trump shirt on. Those people can say, those people, I know that went somewhere. I don't know where it went because I didn't keep up with the case. I know the two people got fired, the two black girls got fired. But guess what? They could have sued them and said, look, we needed our protein for the morning. And because we didn't get our protein that morning at a certain time, this is something medical happened. They can sue the hell out of Smoothie King. White people not that petty, so they might have didn't do that. And Smoothie King probably just blessed them like y'all got free smoothies for life or something like that. But they could have did that. Black people are bad for business. I made these videos, bro, telling y'all this. Y'all think I'm owning. Y'all call me name. He always talking about black people. No. I wouldn't even have a career. Black conservatives or conservatives that's black, because I'm not a black conservative, I'm a conservative that's black. We wouldn't have no gas if y'all wasn't on social media complaining all the time about white people, making videos joking about a white boy who got stabbed. If y'all was just quiet like y'all should be, because let's be honest, as a whole, if you're not somebody who coming out and speaking directly to the black community about course correcting, your lips should be zipped, especially when it comes to talking about a white person. You don't have the room if you black. These people spend all their time, resources, energy, because again, they don't care about you black people. They don't. They had a woman yesterday who got stabbed to death at her job, working at I don't know if she was a single mother or she was married, but she was a mother. She was working at Dollar General. And I'm gonna show it to y'all in a minute to show y'all I'm not bullcrapping. Guy came in there, stabbed her to death, right? She had a GoFundMe and she was trying to raise, her family trying to raise $9,000, just $9 measly $1,000, right? And the last time I checked, I think it was at 6,000 or 7,000. Why wasn't that account flooded overnight like Karmelo Anthony was? This is a woman who left children behind and maybe a husband. And we know black people don't have no life insurance. So she probably didn't have none of that. And guess what? It took all that time. And like I said, I don't know, maybe it did, maybe she reached the 9,000 now, but that woman should have had over $100,000 quick, like Carmelo did. She was a black woman who got stabbed to death, but she got stabbed to death by another black man. The black man was killed by the cop that day that same day because he didn't surrender. He tried to fight the cops or whatever. But my whole point of saying that is this. Okay, people may say, well, we don't have to speak on that because it's justice was served. Cool. But what about her GoFundMe for her family and her estate and her burial? What about that? Why ain't we don't got to say nothing about it. Like I say, the guy was killed, but why we not using our platform, Jasmine Crockett? Why we not using our platform, Ben Crump? Why we not using our platform, Al Sharpton? Why we not using our platform? Oh, we ain't going to use our platform. Why we don't just make a quiet donation? It took this woman, I don't know how long, like I say, that happened. No, what today is Friday. That happened Wednesday. And yesterday, which was 24 hours, her cash out wasn't filled to $9,000. That's all she needed. If it had something to do with a white person, it'd have been the 200, 500,000 overnight. So let's get into this.
See, when some of you black niggers get on this app and start running your damn mouth about civil war with white folks and beating up white folks and all types of bullshit like that, y'all gonna fuck around and find out. Y'all don't want to wake up that beast. Trust and believe me. Y'all don't want to fuck around. What you should be worrying about is taking care of your community. You got immigrants sitting in them damn seats in politics, making decisions for you and your damn kids' future. And they don't even belong here. That's the real fight right there. See, that's the real fight. But y'all don't see that. Because you motherfuckers are locked on 1700 and the 1800. You're locked. You wasn't there. You was not there. I respect them more because at least they had ambitions and goals and dreams. Even in shackles, they invented shit. They couldn't even read and write, and they still invented shit to make our lives better. What the fuck are y'all doing right now to make it better for the future of our black kids? What? Teaching them to hate white folks about what happened in the 1700s? That's it? That's all you got? Now y'all gonna fuck around and y'all gonna find out. Now we got one black girl already going to jail, beating up some white girl, talking about free Carmelo. Y'all gonna fuck around and y'all gonna let Karmelo Anthony get y'all fucked up. And you know what? He don't give a fuck about none of you. He don't give a fuck about none of y'all. Y'all praising this little fucking boy like he's really gonna do something for our black community. Like he's gonna stop the black crime. Like he gonna get these fucking immigrants out of seat and get these illegals out of our community. Y'all the problem. Y'all stay stuck on the 1600 if you want. Because these immigrants that got these seats, they're not thinking about what you thinking about. They thinking about conquering America. Something that y'all motherfuckers should be doing. But you don't want that. You just want to keep crying about what the fuck happened about some time that you wasn't even there. Get your shit together. See, when some of you black niggers get on this app and start running your damn mouth about civil war with white folks and beating up white folks and all types of bullshit like that, y'all.
This one here, more than flabbergasted. Listen to this one. Check this one out.
The autopsy report has been leaked on Austin Metcalf death. And I want to show you guys exactly what this thing shows and what it says. All right, y'all. So I took this from another creators page, and if y'all want to fact check this information, her name is Nina the Paralegal. And they released the full autopsy report. As you guys can see, Collin County, all right, and Austin Metcalf, they have his date of birth, place of death, time of death, cause of death, drug overdose, primary, blood loss via stab wound, secondary. And the notes, look, he was on Molly, he was on fentanyl, he was on all these drugs, y'all. People are delusional. The fact that they say we're delusional, no, they are delusional when it comes to stuff like this. They can't believe that is true. They can't believe stuff is true when the proof is in the pudding, is right in your face. This is why we have to go get the content and put it here, because if not, y'all gonna say, "Oh, y'all lying. It's false news. It's false news. It's fake lies. It's lies." Oh, you get.
This donkey really came on here and just lied. Well, you could have just used 2 minutes to go look up this shit to see it's a lie. All you had to do is look it up. Goddamn donkey. Finish her.
Get up, gospel. Oh yeah, get up, gospel.
The autopsy report has been
Right. This is what we talking about.
The autopsy report has
Right. Instead of just letting it go, they doubling down on dumb, and everybody is watching. Let's continue. We not finished. Let's continue. Watch this here. Man. This is an outrage, man. Like I say, man, I never thought, man. I like I say, man, maybe I gave black people too much credit, especially after the Carmelo. I mean, especially after the Charlie Kirk situation. Maybe I gave him too much credit, but bruh, this don't make no sense.
I fuck you the fuck up.
Look.
You lucky you ain't in jail with one of us. You lucky you ain't in jail. Nigga beat the fuck out you, bitch. Nigga beat the fuck out you, bitch, and make a nigga fuck your pussy. Make a nigga fuck your pussy, bitch. And stores you take all your time and all in your white coca lord cave, bitch. I'd have kicked in your fucking nose, oh. I'd have kicked in your fucking nose, bitch. You lucky Jesus saved your ass today. Jesus saved your monkey. And look at this bitch face. He talking about he believe in God. That bitch got all kind of fucking goddamn fucking Draconians in his ass. He got all kind of space. He think I'm scared of that shit. Bitch, I'm a chaos god, bitch. You ain't scared of me, bitch. Get on your fucking broke ass bike, bitch. Get on your broke ass bike. Get the fuck on. Carry that motherfucker. You got cortisol muscles, bitch. You drink protein shakes and vitamin waters, bitch. Carry that shit, bitch. Carry that shit. Then you make our people carry all that shit. Yeah, you run the street, bitch. Get the fuck on, you hear me? Get the fuck on, you hear me? Look at these motherfucking niggas. Get out of here, nigger. Get out of here, nigger. Get the fuck out of here, nigger. Yeah, that's right. Go at the bitches, brother. Run them bitches down. Run them bitches down. Ain't no bike lane, bitch. Ain't no bike lane. You can't hit, bitch. Ain't no motherfucking bike lane, ho. Walk that shit, nigga. Nigga, you just start treating you bitches like niggas scared of y'all white pussy motherfucker. Look at that white bitch. Go to that fucking bridge and fix your bike. And don't you bring your fucking cortisone KB ass back around here, bitch. Go your ass to the suburbs and fucking veteran. Go and fucking kill a motherfucker. Go take your punk ass and shell that bitch on drugs parade, bitch. Don't come back over here.
Now, I wanted to show that video because Caucasian gentleman made that video, and what he was doing was he was showing y'all, now these two Mormons come in the hood to, you know, do they thing. You know what Juneteenth is. They came. Everybody asked. They came to the hood to do their thing, and this is how they was treated. And the video caption was they treated them like that because that was for Carmelo Anthony. That was for what happened to Carmelo Anthony all over the South. I don't know all over the world. But all over the South, they had people. They had one white girl. I don't got the story on hand right now. She got beat to a pulp because she was allegedly on the jury, And they've been doing it all over Texas, beating random white people up, saying they were on the jury. And this guy, they did this to these Mormons, beat them up, tore their bike up, and this white boy didn't say nothing. He didn't have to say nothing because what he's showing Americans, we see. So when we take it where we take it, don't trip. We see. But let's continue. Something else I wanted to speak on concerning. Oh, this is the situation I was just telling y'all about the woman who was working at the Dollar General and was stabbed to death and couldn't even raise $9,000 in 24 hours. But Karmelo Anthony, because he killed a white person, he raised over $1 million and counting. This is a good video I want to play. I want to play this video because I think it was a good video.
Been knowing about this shit, and we've been.
I want y'all.
So I got a message to white America, right? Not even just white America in general. Welcome to the show, because black folks been dealing with this shit. We've been knowing about this shit, and we've been avoiding this shit. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about that particular sector of black folks within the black community that are the worst motherfuckers on the planet, in which I call them sector niggas. The Carmelo Anthony trial did not expose division. I'm gonna say it again. It did not expose division between white and black. It exposed how bad these sector niggas really are. And they did it at the national level. They did it under the spotlight. So now everybody can see, damn, I see why other black folks do not like these niggas. White folks in particular. Let me tell y'all something. They hate you. They will always hate you. There's nothing you could do to get them to not hate you. They hate each other. They hate everything outside of their beehive. Right now, they are spreading AI-generated photos of themselves pissing on Austin Metcalf's grave. Do you think that's new to them? Do y'all think that's new to us? Listen to the rappers. Julio, for example. He was known for visiting the graves of his enemies and talking shit about them at their grave. And if y'all don't see the difference between upstanding black folks and them sector niggas, you're being disingenuous. These sector niggas put themselves on a national platform. They completely embarrass themselves. But you know what I love about this shit? Us upstanding black folks, we've been knowing about these sector niggas. We grew up with sector niggas. We got family members that are sector niggas. Black folks move out of certain urban neighborhoods and urban inner city communities because they want to get away from sector niggas. I'm glad this shit happened. Everything that's going on right now, these folks walking up, attacking white folks, these folks looking stupid on their videos talking about F all white people. We need to go at white people. Welcome to the show, because those are the sector niggas that we've been telling y'all about. Chris Rock said it before. It's a difference between black people and niggas. These are the niggas that we're talking about. All these folks making these videos, being crazy, being stupid, spreading misinformation, being outright racist. These people that are attacking y'all in y'all comment section, these are the sector niggas. It is a clear difference. And like I said before, if you do not see that difference, you're stupid your damn self. You're being disingenuous your damn self. So I got a message to white America, right? Not even just white America, America in general. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I thought that was a good video, man. Because
Yo, this is sad. He was a victim. He was definitely a victim. A victim of y'all stupid, ignorant ass niggas and y'all fucked up mentality. Was a victim. He was definitely a victim. A victim of y'all stupid, ignorant ass niggas and y'all fucked up mentality and culture that we are instilling into our youth. The dumb motherfuckers who get in my comment sections and other comment sections and will deny that shit was wrong. They will make excuse after excuse, or he shouldn't have put his hands on him. Carmelo is a child who is a victim of that ignorant nigga ass mentality, that ignorant nigga ass culture, that stupid ignorant ass bullshit that is instilled into our youth, especially our young black boys, that trick them every time into the very system that y'all complain about, to throw their fucking lives away and give that good old sweat equity to the man with a smile on their motherfucking face because they had to stand on business. And now they fucking freedom is gone. Y'all are raising these little gorilla-minded ass motherfuckers. It's y'all. All these issues will always be traced back to y'all raggedy ass, fucking ignorant ass, stupid ass parenting every motherfucking time. And Carmelo is a victim of that. He's a victim of that. That boy stood no chance. Because if it didn't happen at that track meet, it was going to happen somewhere else. Because that's what his parents taught him what to fucking do. It would have happened at his job. Because somebody touched him at work and he going to stab him up. He going to take their fucking life. Because he shouldn't have touched me. I told him not to touch me. Because in the black community, if somebody say, touch me if you want to, you better not touch me. That means that's a warning. That's a warning. In the black community, in African American vernacular, that means don't touch me. Touch me if you want to. See what happens. Yeah. And in the real world, when you do that, you go to jail, stupid. You know, the crazy thing is, even when motherfuckers in the military, when I was deployed and shit, all the motherfuckers, when you stand them, post on a
Hey, Meta.
ignorant ass niggas and y'all fucked up mentality. I'ma just say what nobody gonna say. You hate white folks, you hate the white man, you hate America, and you hate this system. And you got your hopes up. And you was hoping like a motherfucker Karmelo Anthony was gonna be found not guilty. So you can have a moral victory because a black boy got off for killing a white boy. The same way blacks cheered when O.J. Simpson got off for killing that white woman. You hate white folks and you're mad and you're sad. You was hoping with everything you had in you. I hope this boy get off self-defense. You heard a lot of bullshit. Now he got 35 years and you sad than a motherfucker. And any motherfucker that agree with that boy stabbing that boy, I guarantee you got a criminal record. I guarantee you can beat a bitch before. Because any man has self-restraint. You can't stab nobody for pushing you. So let's just be honest. You're mad, you're sad, and you're dejected because you need a moral victory because your life ain't got shit going. I got two. You fuck.
What's up?
Hey, yo, Nick.
Fuck that nigga Austin McCall, man. Fuck that nigga Austin, man. If you black nigga, you ain't smoking on Austin, fuck you too. Today we smoking on Austin, nigga.
Fuck Austin. Let your ass dead, nigga. I'm mad as a motherfucker. Free Carmelo. And fuck that nigga. Bitch, I hear it dead.
It's very interesting. Why are y'all calling white people the N-word? I would say it, but I don't know how YouTube's going to feel about that. But why are y'all calling us the N-word? Do we look black to you? No? I thought it was like a cool word that y'all just call each other. But now you're calling it to us? So what does that mean? Does that mean that we can say it now? I mean, nobody actually gives a fuck. The only time y'all do anything about it is when somebody is weaker than you. So what's the deal? Because I'm confused on that. I really am confused. Did something change?
I'm going to answer that question the best way I can, right? Yes, you can say it, just at your own risk. I don't give a shit, but if you look at the guy, like Heavy Duty Country, the guy that I'm responding to, I don't think many black folks would do anything to him if he were to say it. And just like he said, a lot of y'all pick on folks that are weaker than y'all. Y'all are very selective. Y'all might pick a geeky ass white boy and whoop his ass, but some weightlifting white guy, some linebacker, some football playing white guy, y'all might, y'all might let him pass, right? Y'all could definitely say it, you know what I mean? But it's really at your own discretion because you got a huge sector. Them sector niggas will not allow you to say it. They will try to harm you in any way possible if you say it around them. I can't control that. You can't control that. That's just the way it is, right? White people can say nigga. Every other race in America can say nigga. Just be careful who you say it around and be prepared to protect yourself if you say it around some sector niggas. Because if you say it around some sector niggas, I can guarantee a problem is going to happen.
The woman that sold an I just seen that. I don't know who these. I just seen that same video you stupid motherfuckers just seen. And unlike you stupid motherfuckers, I know the fucking law. How the fuck did you not expect to encounter the people who the tent is fucking for? Would you expect them to never come to their fucking tent? Talk about he was surrounded. That's they fucking tent. Stupid motherfucker. Now, if Austin Metcalf or his brother or anybody was trying to jump him, if after the pushing was one push, he stabbed him. Right after that, he stabbed him. How the fuck did he get away from 6 people then? You mean to tell me you couldn't run before that? Stupid motherfucker! You motherfuckers are retarded. You really don't think the person coming back to their fucking tent, you really expect to never encounter the people who the tent for?
Well, we're about to go into these real videos. I want to
see this again. Carmelo was 17. And one of the things I keep hearing is
okay, I gotta play this one.
I just see some this again. Carmelo was 17. And one of the things I keep hearing have to respond with legal force. But since when do we expect somebody in the middle of a confrontation to calculate the exact amount of force they act? Still, I just see some this again. Carmelo was 17. And one of the things I keep hearing is he didn't have to respond with legal force. But since when do we expect somebody in the middle of a confrontation to calculate the exact amount of force they actually allowed to use? I didn't know a lot of rules and stipulations around self-defense. I thought self-defense was self-defense. I thought when you genuinely felt threatened, the first instinct was just to protect yourself. That's why as a black man in this country, this case hits hard.
I thought self-defense was self-defense. I ain't know that rules existed.
If those roles were reversed, the sentences would be vastly different.
You know, I find these hypotheticals and claims of self-defense so interesting because these are the same people that'll watch BodyCam footage of a black dude resisting arrest for 35 minutes. And then when the police eventually end that man's life, they'll look you dead in the face and say, well, why didn't they use the baton first? Even when they use the taser, I still hear people talking about some de-escalation. We can talk about every hypothetical and whataboutism in the book, but going down that route would just make y'all's arguments even worse. Because, as y'all like to say, if the roles were reversed and some 6-foot black high school football player felt that some slightly scrawnier white kid was invading his space and he asked him to move 15 times before proceeding to place a hand upon him, which in turn causes that white kid to pull his father's 9mm out of his backpack and pop that big black boy in the chest just for touching him because he felt threatened, y'all would just call that racist too. Why he felt threatened? Was it because Austin was big and black? What is this, the Green Mile? So you can't be big and black and create boundaries no more? He asked nicely the first time, and all he did was touch your shoulder, but the first thing you're going to do is pull out a gun? Typical colonizer. It's extremely clear that y'all will find any reason to delegitimize any decision on this matter. So no, we don't care to hear your low IQ rambling about what's right and what's wrong, because recent history will show us that that's clearly not y'all's priority.
If evidence does come out that Carmelo was not in fact fighting for his life when he stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf, do you think that the black community will accept that?
If evidence shows that he did not, no, we're gonna stand by ours regardless. They stand by theirs. This is about race.
It's bad, man. It's bad when you're not. It's bad when you're not ashamed to be dumb. That's bad.
The footage has been released. The footage has been released. The surveillance, the full 15 minutes, the body cam footage. There's a 911 phone call that's been released in the Carmelo Anthony trial. So much y'all done try to lie about has been debunked. A cleat sharpener. Take a look at this. Is this a cleat sharpener? That's a very interesting, it almost looks like a knife. And y'all said, oh, he was getting jumped for like 4 minutes. I mean, they just tagged him. Boom, 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 boom. Then he was finally able to get in his book bag and grab the knife. So if we take a look at this footage, does that look like 4 minutes of commotion, 4 minutes of fighting going on? Does that look like anybody getting jumped? Or do you just look like I can see an arm, like a shove, the initial shove going forward, and then the return stab? Literally, that's it. Where's they were fighting for 4 minutes. Him and Austin had been fighting for 4 minutes. I mean, Austin just tagging him. Where's that at in the footage? Okay, next lie. Oh, he wasn't trying to escape. He wasn't trying to, well, really? The man ran out of the stadium and thought he got a good enough distance and started walking to try to blend in with the crowd. Like, y'all gotta be real. Y'all gotta be truthful. Like, y'all go and listen to people that ain't never seen the video. But I digress. I the transcript. Well, not the official transcript, but from somebody that was in the courtroom, Sarah J. Fields. Mind you, let me get her credit for the videos. God, that's where I'm getting videos from. She came out and said in the courtroom that they played the body cam footage of them arresting Carmelo when he said he alleged. He was completely calm. And then all of a sudden, he just bust out and crying. And what's going on to touch me? Then right after that, he just back home talking regular. That ain't the most fakest crying I've ever seen in my life. I mean, y'all just listen to y'all say.
So nothing on your person at all. Mind if I reach in your pockets and stuff and all that? Stabbing them? Where you go? Sit down here. Okay, 12 grade? Okay, let's stay.
So it looks like the judge released the Carmelo Anthony footage. Let's take a look. That looks like Metcalf there. Looks like he's walking with 2 guys, and they seem to be, in my opinion, they both look to be black. People said it was crystal clear, and that portion was crystal clear, but not the footage of them walking up. And I think that's Carmelo Anthony there. Yeah, that's Carmelo. He's walking. He passes by these first 2, must have gotten to the tent because he's coming from that opposite side on the left there. And yeah, you don't see much going on. I can't really see if he's arrived to the tent or not. It's pretty difficult to see much from this angle. I'm speculating that he must be in the tent at this point and is sitting down. Look at the people in there. We're looking. Don't see much of anything going on right now, but there's going to be a shove. Right there's a shove. You see it, and then you see a shove back, and then you see he's out. So it is very quick. That hole is like 2 movements, 2 quick little motions that you can see. Let's look again. Shove back. And then you see he's out. So it is very quick. So this is the body cam footage here with sound. So let's see how that looks.
Hold on.
fast forward 43. Everybody can slow down.
So he's crying now and saying he put his hand.
Is to make sure that the defendant.
So let me
I just came out here to say that I'm keeping my child as far away from ghetto as possible. I hate everything that comes. Hey, get up.
I normally.
I've been called a coon more times.
I just see.
This, but I just seen that same video, you stupid motherfucker.
I want to read to y'all this op-ed I wrote. Give me a second before we get into these 3 final longer videos. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, where did I okay, I know where. This is an op-ed I wrote, and I want to read this op-ed before we get into these 3 videos I want to play from YouTube. Wait, where is it? And here's my op-ed that I wrote. You cannot convince me black people are the dumbest, most disingenuous, hateful people on the planet. Here's why. They're putting all this time, energy, and resources only because, and I wrote this op-ed whenever I seen that all of these people came out of their holes. You know the Ben Crump. Anytime you see Ben Crump, you know it's something about some clout and some money. And some other lawyers. Now, and I take this a little personal as well, being that I was in prison at one particular time in my life. And there's so many brothers in prison, man. I was in prison in Louisiana, and you meet some brothers in there, man, who didn't even have a chance on the offset. The day they were born losers just off parenting environment. Y'all know I always tell y'all, if you are a parent and you bring a child here without a 2-parent household, without having a plan for their environment, the schools and everything they're going to go to, you're a bad parent. Might not be a bad person, but you're a bad parent. And some of these kids from New Orleans, some of these dudes in New Orleans come up and had to see shootings and dead bodies all the time. And, you know, the mother was on dope and just come up in some horrible, traumatic situation. And due to that, they made mistakes, right? Got over sentenced because they didn't have the proper representation. No one cares about them because they can't be used for clout. But here it is, you got a white kid who was stabbed by a black kid, and all of these people like Benjamin Crump, they didn't put this man together a whole dream team. Only because they can use him in his situation for clout as a sign to get back to the white man. And of course, they had to put a scum of the earth white liberal on the team. Because I know some of you may say, well, they got a white, he's a white liberal, of course. And but again, if you go watch the movie Devil's Advocate, it tells you pretty much about lawyers and how they operate. They all about money. Most people like that, but especially the lawyers and the black race hustlers that has took this man's case. There's so many black men in America and women who need their services and rightfully, justly need it, but they're not gonna give it to them. They're giving it to him because right now he's the hot topic. But let me finish with my op-ed. I'll start over. I wrote, you can't convince me that black people aren't the dumbest, most disingenuous, hateful people on the planet. Here's why. They're putting all this time, energy, and resources in Carmelo's situation only because it's a white kid who was killed. But black on black crime is happening every single day in a city near you. at alarming rates. It's no help for the moms who have to bury their kid from black on black violence. No help for the kids who were brought into this world with no chance because they didn't have a father and in some cases a mother either, and had to choose the streets, got caught up and received unfair sentences due to lack of support for legal representation. Carmelo, on the other hand, comes from a two-parent household, an above average two-parent household, gated community, not the projects. At 19 years old, when he was sentenced, he had 2 cars up until that point, one a Lexus and the other one a Jeep. However, due to our trash culture and him making a huge mistake, he ended up in a situation like a have-not. But because most black people were taught from the time they came out of the vagina that the white man is a boogeyman and responsible for all their problems, anytime a situation involving black and white, they choose black regardless of whether black is right or wrong. This is why most, not all, will continue to suffer systematically because they seem to forget who runs America. Yes, they may sing, dance, and play sports well, but they don't own or create anything that employs hundreds or thousands of people or makes the world turn, as aforementioned. Smartphones, corporations, planes, rockets, the internet, vehicles, etc. are created by white people. So when y'all do these things, I know in y'all small brains, y'all think y'all getting back at whitey. Understand, you're only hurting yourselves. This is why you get overlooked for promotions. This is why your son, daughter, who probably won't get this type of attention or support, will get over-sentenced, if ever, on the wrong side of the law. Black people, this is why you are in your current situation, your current stasis. Your women lead the nation. Our women lead the nation in obesity, STDs, single motherhood, being unmarried, and everything that's bad. And the black men are so pathetic, the list is too long for me to address. As you seen earlier in the video that I played, 2 black men showed how overly emotional and impulsive they are over something so small. Not somebody disrespecting their family, their kid, their parent, over a political disagreement. They wasn't able to have a conversation like men. They were ready to be gangster. But let's continue. And because of the hate in y'all hearts for white people, for something that happened to y'all grandparents, God will not hear y'all prayers. And y'all are getting worse because y'all refuse to course correct. It's embarrassing. And I put 2 scriptures, Proverbs 29:1, Romans 1:28-32. And guess what? I'm going to read them with you guys right now. Let's go start with Proverbs 29:1. Because if you're just tuning in, this is a pro-truth channel, aka pro-Christ channel, first and foremost. You don't believe in God, doesn't matter. He believes in you. And that's what everything on this channel comes from. So let's go to Proverbs 29:1. Whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be destroyed beyond recovery. Who is that? That's black people. They can't be told they are the most prideful people in America. Of course, no race can say nothing to them because they will be called racist, canceled, attacked, or sued. And if black people do it, we're coons, we're bootlickers, we're Uncle Tom, we're sucking up to the white man, right? But they don't say that about the rappers who glorify violence and disrespect our women. They aren't coons. But the ones of us who are constructively criticizing our community, with hopes that we'll course correct, we are the coons. So let's go to, so that's why whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be destroyed beyond recovery. Look at the black community. Let's go to the other scripture I put, which is Romans 1:28-32, and see what it says. Let's see what it says. Starting at verse 28. Since they thought it foolish to acknowledge God, he abandoned them to their foolish thinking and let them do things that should never be done. We understand that black people believe in God, but we also understand that scripture tells us that even the devils in hell believe in God. So therefore, believing in God doesn't mean anything. Do you submit to him? Do you love him more than you love anything else? We know most black people don't. They love their job more than God. They love their degrees more than God. They love, you name it. They love money more than God. They love vagina more than God. They love a husband more than God. God is not even in most black people's top 10. Let's continue. Verse 29. Their lives became full of every kind of wickedness, sin, greed, hate, envy, murder, quarreling, deception, malicious behavior, and gossip. They are backstabbers, haters of God, insolent, proud, and boastful. They invent new ways of sinning and they disobey their parents. They refuse to understand, break promises, are heartless, and have no mercy. They know God's justice requires that those who do these things deserve death, yet they do them anyway. Worse yet, they encourage others to do them too. Remember, I told y'all, black people have the gift of influence. Now, let's get into these videos and we'll close.
This is the open room. The Brown Boys. The Brown Boys. The Brown Boys. We the Brown Boys. The Brown Boys. We the Brown Boys. This sad.
Now, this is Kwame Brown, a high school player, #1 overall pick in 2001. He was personally selected by Jordan for the Wizards. Didn't pan out to be who he was supposed to be, but he had a great, long journeyman career. And a couple of years ago, he started a YouTube channel. He's been speaking truth. And so I just want y'all to listen to this brother and some of the things he gonna say concerning this, and of course, I'll chime in.
Hey man, y'all got to see this, and then I'm gonna show y'all the Willie D thing. This Carmelo Anthony case, this shit tearing the world apart, man. Have you noticed that?
No, it's not. It's separating stupid from smart, evil from wicked. I mean, evil from righteous. It's just separating the wheat from the tares, in the words of the scripture. But let's continue.
Every year, it be something happen to an individual that none of us know, but somehow it's a revolutionary black thing, and it's like the most social justice you supposed to ever be a part of, and then we forget about that person, and then that shit happen again in another 4 years. It's the most social justice shit you ever supposed to be a part of, and then we memorialize that person. Then it happened. Like, have we not seen this story over and over again? Why is it that this Carmelo Anthony thing has something to do with everybody? To the point where attorneys and people who work in the field can't even state their opinion without being a coon. So to be black now, it seems like you have to be a one-track minded lion. I'm just down with the blacks, no matter right or wrong. White people did it too, ass nigga. Hey, not there. Did I say it right? I kind of went off a little bit. I don't know if I said it right. Because Jesus Christ, man. You can't say nothing but I agree. I agree. The white boy was supposed to go. Yep. Stab his ass. You gotta say the most craziest shit in the world to be down. What in the hell is going on now? Our pro-blackness is rude and crazy little motherfucker. Hey, listen here. Y'all too tough for me. I'm sorry. I ain't that tough. I'm a father, so if I see somebody who lose a child, I have empathy for the person who lost a child. Now, I also can understand and look at circumstances around the situation and say whether I think a person should get manslaughter or whether I think a person is just a stone-blooded killer. So I think I'm balanced, but a lot of people don't want balance, boy. They want all of nothing. There's some white folks that want you to say, God damn it, he's a stone cold killer. Look at me, black. Watermelon fat ass black. Crazy. There's some white folks that want you to say that. Watermelon fat. And then some black folks want you to say, they want you to do the staff there. What kind of food is that, man? They made up a goddamn stab the boy in the hand. I said, oh, shit. I ain't bullshitting. Hey, they parents ain't tell them never show out in front of white people. Them some bitches showing out in front of white folks, boy. I'm talking about they standing there as puny as they can be. Stabbing themselves, talking about they doing the Metcalf dance. I said, what the? But hey, man, I don't know what the hell going on, but somebody need to hit that switch of crazy and turn that off. People ain't normal no more. People all the way to the up. That's crazy. I'm talking about, and if you black now, you gotta be down with the radical shit. You gotta say that I'm supposed to say, just because I'm black, that if a boy push another boy, that I want the other boy to respond with a stabbing. I think that's some hope. I'm sorry. I don't give a what size a person is. If he push you, push their ass back. If they jump you, cool. Get your shit in. And if you already got the knife, ball up, then get your shit off. I'll do whatever you gotta do. But you want me to okay pushing to a stabbing. Nah. That's whack to me. I got a son that's gonna be taller than the average kid. You teach your kid not to kill my kid. You teach your kid how to actually defend himself instead of talk shit like his mama. And then that boy would have known what to do in that situation. Somebody standing up over you, pushing you, push his ass down the bleachers, punch him in the scrotum. You do all sorts of things, but you don't stab him in the chest with a knife. You don't get final when somebody push you. See, that's what mama tell you. And I hear men saying the truth. I hear men saying the problem. Mama said, pick up something and knock the shit out of them. Yeah, my mama, did your mama tell you pick up something when somebody with you and knock the shit out of them? Yeah, well, mama didn't tell your dumb ass that that's aggravated assault, stupid mother. Because I'm sure it's aggravated assault. Yeah, you said? Yeah, mama ain't tell you that was aggravated assault, though. But it is.
Murder charge.
Or assault. And see, mama got to go to the extreme. Daddy would have told you, come on, boy, let me teach you this 1-2. Let's go to the gym. Let's learn how to fight so you can go get your ass whooped and you win some and you lose some. Now these niggas they provide us and protect us, but they got pretty or whatever they is. They got $1,000 jeans on, soft-ass hands, ain't nothing physical about them. So every time somebody touch you or anything, you got a pistol for them. How the fuck you gonna protect a woman if every time somebody run a foul to you, you gonna shoot them?
if every time somebody run a foul to you, you're gonna shoot him. If your man is a shooter, you won't have a man long. What's up? Not yet. If your man is a shooter, you won't have a man long. But everything is not a shootable offense. Your man needs to be a thinker. Because you need to think about, sometimes I might need to mace this mother. Sometimes I might need to just get my wife away from this mother. And sometimes I should have never came to this mother. You gotta be a thinker. You don't just crash out. Only little boys crash out. Men think about what they do and they respond. And if you ain't put your hands on me, and you ain't, you can say some stupid shit to me. And now that I'm at the age that I am, I'm gonna assess the situation. I'm gonna look at you. Nah, I'm straight. And that ain't for you, that's for me. I'm straight. I just think about I roll the deck. I go through my Rolodex of things I could possibly do, or could possibly be done to me. And then it always result back in my head about jail. And then hold up, y'all. I'm sorry, my bad. This shouldn't be. I don't know why it's gonna be tripping like that. You tripping bad. Bad, man. By the time they get there, okay, I wake up from that delusion, like, okay, cool. Now, back in my day, yeah, but I'm an older man, so I avoid situations. I avoid people that's going to raise my blood pressure. I avoid all kind of things that's going to raise my blood pressure or my cortisol. I don't want that. So if I got to walk away from a situation and laugh, I'm going to do that. If you put your hands on me, then that's something different. I'm not going to respond with deadly force over a push. I used to be the skinniest thing around, and I still would never respond to deadly force with a push. I'm going to crack that nose, and if you don't drop, we got to go from there. End of the story. To be black now, you got to be a Democrat. That's the one thing. Step one to be black. You got to be a Democrat. You got to be a Trump never, Democrat forever. Don't ask no questions about the kids. Don't ask nothing about nothing. Just Democrat for life, bitch. And you have to somehow attach yourself to every story that you don't know nothing about and get on Twitter and sound and act pro-black. Even though in real life, though, you'll pull out your phone when somebody black getting their face kicked in. Even though in real life, if you see somebody black getting robbed, slapped down, snatched out his jewelry, hanging on by a thread, you gonna say that's real, nigga. World star. You ain't gonna do a thing like a civilian or anybody that's in a neighborhood or a community. Facts. But yet and still, we say we have a black community. Facts. Why you think everybody move out of the community? Who gonna live somewhere that you pull out a goddamn phone and laugh at somebody getting their head kicked in? Oh, I forgot. That's lame to not. Yeah, I'm a lame ass nigga. I'm supposed to mind my business. Really. I get it. But who want to live around somebody that's trying to be real while they trying to really raise kids? That's all I'm asking. He said, I react to save life, Kwame, not take it. Man, most people just gonna put that phone on your ass and holler world star, and whatever happens is on you. So no, that's why we don't have no community.
Neuro Rehab is a department here at FHE Health.
Well, we have an update for Carmelo Anthony, baby. He's got it.
Nah, before we get into this, I want to say this: my brother Black Conservative Perspective YouTube channel. Great guy. I mean, great channel. I don't know him personally, but he gonna react to it from his perspective, and of course, I'll chime in.
The new team behind him. So a new legal team filed substitution for counsel to pursue appeal for Karmelo Anthony. Baby, and here's the starting lineup. Nobody came to play. I know people thought Ben Crump would be up in here, but don't worry, he brought a co-counsel to the team. Now leading this counsel is Russell Wilson II. And if you want to know the credentials of everybody on counsel, you can go ahead and stop, pause, and read. I just want to make it clear, I stand with Carmelo Anthony, and I love that our community has come behind this young Black man and let him know that he is not alone. And hopefully we can turn this conviction over and get him the fuck out of there. I don't want him to serve no time for defending himself. And for all you 3x5 cards sitting in my comment section telling me that putting your hands on somebody does not justify unaliving them, I'm just going to say Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and the list goes on. Y'all are a fucking danger no matter what. I don't know why y'all like to switch up history if y'all are not the most treacherous individuals to walk this fucking world. Just because Wiggs R Us from the books doesn't mean it didn't happen. Y'all are not peaceful. Y'all are not pleasant. Y'all don't mind y'all business. And y'all are literally a threat to Black people's lives. And history will not tell you anything different. So don't play the innocent factor. Y'all have done way more to us than we've ever done to y'all. And for way less. Have the fucking day you deserve.
So Carmelo Anthony is getting a new legal team. This will be comprised of a civil rights attorney, also a couple people from the Texas NAACP. A lot of people in that sector are banding together to overturn his conviction. And my biggest thing that I have to say about it is why? Why? He committed murder. There are consequences to murder. That's it, guys. It's that simple. There's consequences to murder. You guys are so easily influenced by the media, feeding you breadcrumbs and just poking at you like, oh, racist. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to prison because he's Black. Yeah, they got another one. No.
Boy. So we got to talk about the pro-blackity black grift that seems like it's never going to end. Okay, the grift of all grifts, the biggest grift in this country since George Floyd, the Carmelo Anthony murder situation. Okay, Carmelo Anthony convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf in cold blood, stabbing him in the chest at a track meet over a push. Okay, it is clear-cut murder. It's not self-defense. But these pro-blackity blacks have refused to accept reality, truth, facts since day one. Okay, and these people have revealed themselves to be very ignorant, right? Gullible people that can easily be taken advantage of, and they're being taken advantage of right now by the race hustlers online. The race hustlers that are currently in bed with the Carmelo Anthony family, and they're taking the race hustle to a whole new level because apparently they have now hired a powerhouse legal team of pro-blackity black race hustlers, right? So the race hustler Avengers, which now apparently includes Ben Crump, right? Even Ben Crump is getting in on this grip, right? The Carmelo Anthony grip is so profitable that even Ben Crump, who stayed away from this, right? He's now hopping in, okay? Who knows? Maybe Al Sharpton will show up. That's how much money is involved with this grip of defending a murder, okay? And the pro-blackity blacks are celebrating this new powerhouse legal team of pro-blackity black race hustlers who are supposed to help Carmelo with his appeal, which again is not going to work. But
the pro-black blacks are celebrating this as if this is going to get Carmelo out of prison. It's not. Take a look.
Developments in the case of Carmelo Anthony, who was sentenced to 35 years behind bars for the murder of Austin Metcalf.
Yes, tonight a high-profile legal team announced they will be representing Anthony. NBC5's Allie Spillers is live with the latest on this. Now, Allie, what does this mean for the next phase of this case?
Well, Brian and Brittany, this comes less than 2 weeks after Carmelo Anthony filed a pauper oath, basically a request to the court for an attorney saying he could no longer afford one. That came the same day that he filed a motion saying he intends to appeal his conviction. This team of 6 prominent Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin-based lawyers say they're coming together to represent Anthony pro bono. The team's headed by former Dallas County prosecutor Russell Wilson. It also includes Michael Ware, the director of the Innocence Project of Texas, and president of the Texas NAACP, Gary Bledsoe. Despite numerous requests, the team told us they are holding off on interviews for now, but they did release a statement saying, in part, we recognize the profound loss suffered by one young man's family and the uncertainty facing another. Our responsibility is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal. A couple of weeks ago, one of the attorneys now representing Anthony told me that this process takes time. He said an appeal likely wouldn't reach the 5th District Court of Appeals until the end of the year. If they have to move to the state or federal level, that could take even longer.
And that's what we like to see. Ben Crump just announced that a powerhouse legal team has come together to represent Carmelo Anthony pro bono. These are attorneys with backgrounds in civil rights, appeals, and criminal defense. And they are all coming together to review everything from the court case to start the appeal process to try to get something done about what happened to Carmelo Anthony based on the trial. And on this powerhouse legal team is the president of Texas NAACP. Oh, we on it now. We on y'all head top now because we all sat here and watched this young black boy get railroaded during his trial. Their focus right now is not going to be on the details of the incident. They are going to be focusing on whether or not Carmelo Anthony had a fair trial, and it could potentially lead to a new trial, to parts of the conviction being overturned, or a different sentence. It seems like their first move is to get through the appeal process, to see what gets done through the appeal process, and if that's not enough, then they will revisit trying to have a new trial or whatever it is. I love to see it. I love to see it. They thought it was donezo for our boy Carmelo Anthony.
So family, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I want to talk about our brother Carmelo Anthony. You know, that's still a major topic that we have to still focus on. Our good brother Carmelo, who's wrongly locked down. He is a political prisoner. We have to continue to fight for justice for our young brother.
Wow.
We have to let our young people know that we're not going to abandon them when the system tries to gobble them up. We have to stand on business. We have to stand up for our youths. We cannot be like these old Sambos out here bucking their eyes. We need all that, man. Hold his mid-calf. No. You know, our children don't need to see all of that buck dancing. As far as our brother Carmelo, new revelation, there's a new legal team, ladies and gentlemen, for Carmelo. Did y'all know that? There's a brand new legal team who's going to be working on his appeal. Did y'all hear about that? There's a whole legal team. Now, they're working pro bono. It's a whole legal team down there, and they're connected with the DNC. These are Democrat-connected law firms, which is cool. That shows the pressure of the black grassroots. We've been calling out the DNC and NAACP, all of these people that were somewhat silent during the trial. Remember, the DNC-connected people, they weren't really saying nothing during this trial, all right? Okay? They weren't really saying nothing. So now that this brother got the book thrown at him unjustly, people are looking at the DNC like, hey, what's up? So now they made an announcement today that he has a heavy hitting coalition specializing in civil rights, appellate law, criminal defense. They're going to be working on this thing pro bono. They got Gary Bledsoe from the Bledsoe Law Firm. They're a major player in civil rights law. He's currently the president of the Texas NAACP. All right. So many people believe his involvement is going to signal a direct challenge to the racial dynamics of the trial and the jury selection. I really need them to get on that. They're going to sit up there and get a white jury in this case like that and just excuse
That's a lie.
out all the black jurors. That was some real janky shit they pulled.
Investors start change your pay points instead. That way, every time you spend, you can round it up towards your future. Start investing.
Jurors, that was some real janky shit they pulled.
Well, let me tell you something. It is in fact done, though. Right? It is done. And you people are fools. You are fools if you believe that this is going anywhere, right? So let me explain to you guys what's happening here. Carmelo, when he filed his appeal, basically said that he's broke, right? The family said we're broke, even though they raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and apparently they only spent $75,000 of those hundreds of thousands of dollars on their white attorney, Mike Howard, who the race hustlers are in the family. They're currently blaming for why is it that Carmelo is going to do 35 years in prison getting bent over, right? Instead of blaming Carmelo or blaming themselves, right? No. They're blaming their attorney that they cheaped out on, right? This is what Dominique Alexander, the race hustling, baby shaking handler of Carmelo, admitted out loud in an interview that, they cheaped out on their initial legal defense.
I had him meet with another attorney, a black attorney. The first attorney I had to meet with was black. Rain asked me what the price that black attorney would charge. $500,000. $500,000. They weren't talking until they gave him $200,000. What the white man say? 75. 75,000? Yeah. And so my thing was like,
yeah, so you say that, you heard that. Now, these lawyers, right, the high profile powerhouse team of race hustlers, apparently they're working pro bono, right? Which means that, they're not really charging, right? But that doesn't mean that the money's not flowing, okay? The money is going to flow through this Stand With Carmelo coalition in which they...
And even if it don't flow, again, these people want to stay relevant, stay in power for clout. So they definitely going to get that out of it either way it go. And another thing people don't understand about appeals, you can go do your case study on this. When you get an appeal, matter of fact, let me read this to you real fast. Because I want to, that way y'all can go look up what I'm saying. And y'all know I'm not just running my mouth. Just let me pull this case up. See if I can. But it was a case with a female. You hear me? A female. I pulled it up. I know her name was now it was in Florida, but when you deal with law, most things are like, some things are state basis, but some things are universal. Like say for instance, an alpha plea, that's universal. But this was a case of a black woman named Shakita Sorrell Jones, who was convicted of the same crime, the same charges, the same everything. But after the appeal, she was sentenced to life in prison on felony murder and armed robbery charges in Jacksonville instead of the 35 she received on her first conviction. Jones, and you can look this case up, Shakita Sorrell Jones. She was a woman. I'm going to read it to you. Jones was convicted a second time for her role in planning a gas station robbery. She staked out a gas station so her boyfriend could rob it. When her boyfriend was carrying out, he was shot and killed by 2 Jacksonville police officers. She was initially convicted in 2011 and sentenced to 35 years. But her convictions were reversed because of an error during the jury process. So they trying to use that, it was no black people in the jury, because the black people that they interviewed was openly saying that they would be biased. The 3 black teachers that they removed from the case also was because they said that they were educators and there was some children involved and they didn't know if they can look at it from an unbiased perspective. They just so happened to be all black. But it wasn't because of their skin color, it was because of their profession. So they might use that and try to get an appeal. And this what this woman used. I don't know what the situation was, but I know it was a jury selection process. And they had an error in there. And on those grounds, she filed an appeal. The state took Jones to trial again. She was convicted again of the same charges, assuming she would have gained time and served the 85% of her sentence that most inmates in Florida Department of Corrections system serve. Jones, 31, would have been released from prison about at the age of 30. Now she'll be in prison for the rest of her life with no chance of getting out. The only thing that changed in the case was the initial ruling was reversed on what appears to be a technicality. And Jones is the one being held accountable for it with a significantly tougher sentence than she received the first time around. But her fate was in the hands of a different judge who saw the case differently and handed down a life sentence. And again, this is the Shakita Sorrell Jones case in Florida. The woman was sentenced to 35 years for murder because, like I say, her boyfriend, she planned the robbery. She staked out the place. He just was the one who was doing the robbery. In the process of him doing the robbery, the cops had watched her the whole time. It became suspicious. So the day when they executed the robbery, they was already on point. So when he gets out the car to rob the store, they already got him. And instead of him putting his hand up, he grabs a gun, so they shoots him. But in Florida, the way the law works in Florida, if you plan a crime or any type of crime happen that you are part of and the body died, that murder on you. So she ended up getting the murder for her boyfriend and the robbery. Got sentenced to 35 years, appealed it on the jury selection era. And on the next time around, like I said, it was a different judge who looked at the case from a different perspective. And instead of the 35 years, she was sentenced to life. So we got to understand that when you do appeals, doesn't mean you're going to, now it is people who did appeals who beat the situation on the second time around. I have to say that too. But I'm just letting it be known. We talk about appeal. We look at appeal like that's just an automatic green light. It's not. It could be a red light. It could be a orange light, meaning the same situation, or it can be a red light. And the red light is a worse than what you got in the beginning. But let's continue.
Going to raise money for this appeal, okay? While at the same time, Carmelo is claiming to be broke, right? Even though, again, they have fundraised hundreds of thousands of dollars. They only spent $75,000 of it on Mike Howard. Maybe they spent more. I don't know. I'm just going with what the woke minister has said publicly about how the money's been spent. But what they're doing is that they're trying to fundraise off this idea that Carmelo has a chance of winning his appeal. And I'm here to tell you that he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning the appeal, right? I'm talking about like single digits, maybe even less than that. He has zero chance. As I explained yesterday, they're going to try to go to the appeals court and say the judge striking the 3 black educators, right? The 3 black women educators, the judge striking them is evidence and proof of racism, hate, and bigotry because they allowed 1 white educator on the jury pool. And the reason why that's not going to work is because the black jurors that were struck, right, the educators, they work in a K-12 environment. The white educator works at a trade school, which is fundamentally different. They're different environments. The black educators worked in an environment that actually is somewhat related to Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. And it's exactly what the prosecution outlined, which is that, hey, that could contribute to bias, right? Them working in the same environment as these kids. We don't want them a part of the jury pool for that reason. It had nothing to do with race. It was completely race neutral. And it just so happened that, again, the white educator that was allowed to stay on the panel was allowed to stay because that person worked at a trade school, worked in an adult learning environment, which, again, is fundamentally at a trade school, worked in an adult learning environment, which again is fundamentally different than a K through 12 environment. And again, that's why this challenge is going to fall apart. That's why it's going to fall apart. Okay. This is why, if you actually read this letter, they're being very careful with their language. They're saying, hey, we're going to work to see if there were any civil rights issues or whether or not there were any errors from the judge. They're not promising a new trial. And they're also not claiming that Carmelo is innocent, right? Notice how they're not saying, well, we believe that Carmelo is actually innocent and that facts and evidence during the trial were not presented in order to prove Carmelo's innocence. No, that's not what they're saying. They're simply just saying that, quote, our responsibility is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal. Again, this is not focused on the facts of the case. This is focused on trying to potentially smear the judge as a racist in order to possibly get a new trial. But it's not going to happen. It's a long shot. And they know this, right? They know that this is not going to work. But again, for them, it's all about fundraising. It's all about marketing, right? They can hop on board with this new grift that is exploding across Black social media, the pro-Black spaces, where these people really believe that Carmelo Anthony is innocent because they have fallen for lies that have been spread on social media by pedophiles, right? Little pedophiles are lying on social media about what happened that day, and these people are running with it as if it's fact. So all of these lawyers involved know that Carmelo is guilty as hell. They know that this is not going to work, but they also know that the pro-Blackie blacks are too stupid to understand that it's not going to work and why it's not going to work, right? Because again, these people are very low-level thinkers, okay? If something doesn't make sense to them, if there's some quote-unquote discrepancy, then they automatically default to racism, okay? As I explained, why the Black jurors, the Black educators were struck, again, these pro-Blacks are too stupid to understand that. They're too stupid to understand the difference between an educator in a K through 12 environment and an educator in an adult learning environment and how that could possibly contribute to bias. And that is why the Black educators were struck, and that the judge has broad discretion when it comes to allowing these things. And that, again, it's not going to be overturned because he didn't make an error, right? There's no evidence or proof that those Black jurors were struck based off racism, hate, and bigotry. But I guess you could argue that the Black non-educator potential jurors that were struck, maybe they were struck because they proved in court that they are in fact a racist, right? Maybe that's an argument that you can make, because a lot of those individuals went to court and said, hey, we can't convict Carmelo because we can't send a brother to prison, right? We can't put that baby in jail. So again, I've already explained why is it that there were no Black people on the jury pool, and it has everything to do with the fact that Black people cannot be unbiased when it comes to this type of stuff. They can't be, because apparently Black people are the most racist group in this country. They're so racist that they can't even get on the jury pool because they can't hide their racism. That's how obvious it is, right? Imagine being so racist that you can't hide your racism while trying to get on the jury pool, right? They're so racist and so ignorant that none of them was smart enough to say, you know what, maybe let me tone down my racism as I audition to be on this jury pool. Nah, they can't do that. They went out there and they told him straight up. They said, Carmelo's innocent. We can't throw this brother in prison. He's a baby, blah, blah, blah. They went and said everything that exposed their racism, the fact that they can't be unbiased, and that's why no Black people were on the jury. Again, it has nothing to do with the Black man being racist, and it has everything to do with Black people being racist. That's the irony here. That's the irony. So again, all the hustlers involved in this know that we're dealing with very stupid people, right? And a fool and his money will part, right? And they all know that. Because again, you got idiots like this comedian, Lil Rel, okay? Listen to this clown react to Carmelo's new high-powered race hustling legal defense.
It's hard to listen to. This disgusting. It's embarrassing as a fellow Black man, the way this man, and again, this is why they tell you celebrities and you entertainers to shut up and dribble, which is he not a basketball player, he's a comedian. Shut up and tell jokes. because the lies, and again, the black community are so propagandized because they get all of their information from social media. They don't do no research, and they see everything through the eyes of race, not logic. And like, he's just gonna regurgitate a whole bunch of the lies that has been debunked in this episode, in all the episodes, but in this episode specifically. And I mean, he just sounds like a weak, defeated, pathetic man. And this is the average black man in the community. Like I was telling you guys earlier about the two gentlemen fighting. The average black man in the community is so pathetic. He can't lead nobody. He can't lead himself. He can't lead his family. Hell, he can't even keep his family together. Well, let's listen to this weak man.
Steve, I'm about to get super real quick. And I will say this. You know, I posted what I posted not like a little bit ago about the Carmelo Anthony appeal and how he has a new legal team and they're gonna help him appeal. And I posted what I posted, and the amount of energy I'm getting from people, and it's a lot of black people calling Carmelo Anthony a murderer, and he got what he deserved, and why are you saying he deserves a fair trial? A murderer, a murderer, a murderer, a murderer. My thing is this: if that's the energy you got about any of this, then you should have that same energy for that young man who was shot in the back by that gas station owner. By that gas station owner.
Again, these people are so dumb. They're so dumb. They continue to bring up other cases that have absolutely nothing to do with the Carmelo case. Different state, different circumstances, just completely different case. But again, in the tiny brains of the pro-blacks, they think that the Rick Chow case and the Carmelo case are the same. So they use this in order to demonstrate that there's some hypocrisy when there's not. You're just dumb, right? You're just dumb. It's like unbelievable how stupid these people are. It explains everything. It really does. When you understand how stupid these people are on average, it explains a whole lot of the problems in the black community. I'm telling you, this is the conclusion I've come to. It's the only logical conclusion. And the sad reality is that deep down, I know I'm right. I know that the biggest issue in the black community right now is the fact that you have too many people who are below average intelligence, right? That the average black person is not very smart. That's the problem. That's the issue, okay? It is not an issue that you can fix by throwing money at the problem. This is why, despite all the welfare, despite all the handouts, black people are still behind. This is why you have these immigrants that come from these other countries. They come to the United States. Doesn't matter if they're already well off coming into the United States. Doesn't matter if they cross the border illegally and they ain't got nothing. They come here and they outperform black folks because it seems as if the average black person is just not very smart. And when you're not very smart, yeah, you're going to have a hard time, right? You're going to have a hard time. And that's what this is proving. That's what this is proving. And I don't want to think that. I don't want to believe that. But the reaction to all this kind of basically proves that. So it's hard for me to deny reality. I'm not going to deny reality. When reality is staring me in the face, I'm going to call it like it is. And the reality is that these people are not very smart. And they just continue to demonstrate this over and over and over again. Again, it's like watching a reality show, right? It's very entertaining, but also sad at the same time.
Same energy. And I don't feel like going back and forth with people in my comments about this shit because I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. And it's bothering me. I literally was just sitting in a Bible class, and I'm trying to focus, but I'm so annoyed by that. And I already explained that I'm not like going back and forth with nobody in these comments. This is sick to me. I can't understand how y'all keep calling this young man a murderer, right? And he was sitting there minding his business. And they marched over there to bully him, right? They bullied him. Because the dude, if you know the background of those twins, They were bullies. Full blown,
See?
old school.
See what I'm saying?
Biff from Back to the Future, bullies. Full bullies. And then they jumped him after he warned them. Look, I don't care what nobody said. I'm from the west side of Chicago. If I'm about to get into it with somebody and they like, fam, run up on me if you want to, or I'm gonna stab you. If that's the case, most likely, just from street smarts, I'm not doing that. I got shit to lose. If somebody telling me, man, like say I'm into it with somebody and they're like, man, run up on me if you want to. Click, clack. I'm gonna pop you if you run up on me. Then I make a decision at that point. And then, Texas got all these crazy laws when it comes to stand your ground and self-defense. That's exactly what that was. The biggest argument any of us have right now, it's not even about like that he don't deserve to be punished for his reaction. Because we're not saying his reaction was correct either.
No, that's exactly what you're saying. Like, let's be real. That is what you're saying. You're saying his action was correct. Okay? You're defending murder, right? That's what you're doing. But again, these are the people that are being taken advantage of by the pro-black and blacks, right? All the grifters that are in on this, right? The people who believe all these lies. When they were bullied, they jumped him. All lies, right? All lies spread on the internet by pedophiles, like literally spread by pedophiles. These people are eating it up. They're eating it up. And again, the family's fundraising off of this. You have race hustlers, again, like the Ben Crumps of the world, all of these lawyers, they're getting in on this because they know that these people are dumb. It's kind of wild to be honest with you.
But I'm saying that young man don't deserve 35 years, who was a stand-up student, who never got in trouble before, who's never been arrested, and he was scared.
Voice summer and a hot man summer with Old Spice Legacy Antiperspirant Spray.
When we look at all the connected world, all the devices we are using, they are
before, who's never been arrested, and he was scared.
Yeah. So you see that, you heard that. Like I said, low intelligence is probably the biggest issue that we're facing in this country amongst these people. And again, I don't think you can fix it by throwing money at the problem. I don't know exactly how you can fix it, to be honest. It's a sad reality, but it is the reality. And, this is where we're at. This is going to continue to drag on. They're not going to stop claiming that Carmelo didn't get a fair trial, that he's actually innocent. They're not going to stop lying about Carmelo getting jumped and that the Metcalf boys were bullies and yada, yada, yada. They're going to continue to lie because there's money to be made with these lies, right? And the grift has now elevated to a new level because, again, you have these people that despite the video coming out, despite the trial results, despite all the facts and evidence, they're still holding on to these conspiracy theories because they will not accept the truth. They don't want to accept the truth. And anybody that is willing to go along with these delusions, right, that these people have, yeah, they can make a lot of money. They can make a whole lot of money because, again, these people are ignorant. And again, that's why they're poor. This is why they're not well off. Again, you deserve to be poor. You deserve to be broke. If you donate to this, if you're falling for this nonsense, right, you're putting your hard-earned money towards defending a murderer, yeah, you deserve to be poor. You deserve to live in the ghetto. You deserve every negative outcome that happens to you in life, okay? I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Like, I just cannot believe that these people are still defending an obvious murder. But again, there's a whole lot of money to be made in this country based off the race grift. We saw with the Southern Poverty Law Center, they were literally paying for racism, right? Because again, racism is very lucrative. And as long as the race hustle stays lucrative, you're going to get stuff like this, right? As long as black people stay ignorant, which is why the race hustle is so lucrative, because black people are ignorant, we're going to continue to deal with problems like this, which is why if you're a smart black person, it is best for you to get out of the hood, right? Get away from the ignorance, okay? And, get as far away as possible from these people who apparently believe it's okay to be stabbed in the chest over disrespect, right? Over a push. These people do not believe in living in a civilized society. This is their mentality. And again, this is why you gotta stay as far away as possible from a lot of these individuals. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black Conservative perspective. Peace.
Things are looking very good for Carmelo Anthony. I'm sure that you guys have already seen. He has a brand new legal team that has filed an appeal on his behalf. Now, what does this mean? Because a lot of people think that this is a brand new trial immediately. It is not a brand new trial immediately, but what it does mean is that the higher courts are now going to investigate and look into the trial that was done. Was any of Carmelo's constitutional rights violated? Were there any errors that were done during the jury selection that were illegal with the witnesses? Were there any evidence that was left out? They are going to have to look over all of that. If there were any violations, a couple of things will happen. One, the time that he got will be reduced significantly. Two, a brand new trial will be granted to Carmelo. So this is a very, very, very good sign on what we see here. Things are looking very good for Carmelo, and we will, definitely be watching to see what happens. But I'm definitely excited for Carmelo because he is due a fair trial.
So we got to continue our coverage of the Carmelo Anthony conviction fallout that is currently one of the #1 stories in the country because the pro-Black blacks can't accept the reality that Carmelo Anthony is a cold-blooded murderer. Okay, and that he's going to do 35 years in prison, getting bent over. And it seems to me that the chance of him actually doing 35 years is increasing as the race hustlers refuse to back down on this obvious grip. And they are continuing to insist that Carmelo Anthony is innocent, right? And that he was acting in self-defense, even though all the facts, all the evidence suggests otherwise, right? So now, the latest grip is the appeal, right? These people, the pro-Black blacks, think that Carmelo has a chance of actually winning the appeal and getting his conviction overturned or getting a new trial. So again, they're very excited about this new so-called high-powered team of race hustling Avengers, right? Lawyers who are basically trying to get some clout off of the Carmelo Anthony situation. Okay, this is a full-blown grift at this point.
Y'all, so I waited to say something because I wanted to make sure this shit was true. But Carmelo Anthony has a team of Avengers. Yeah. The judge thought he was Thanos, gonna collect these little black kids and put them in jail, and thought he was gonna lay down and take it. He thought this was an easy Infinity Stone to collect. He got the NAACP on his side. Bledsoe. Yeah, anybody by the name of Bledsoe? And that name ring bells, I just don't know why. But I think he ain't nothing to play with. You got Big Crump now. Okay, you got Russell Wilson and some other niggas. Because I don't remember their name. Shit, go look it up. But look, you thought this was an easy case closed, case shut, and you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Now you want to step down and retire because you know, you thought the internet wasn't going to find out that you were shady? Man, the internet will find your fucking baby picture somewhere. I swear to God. The internet will find a video of your mama giving birth to your ass. But, yeah, that's why you're trying to rush the case up. Yeah, but we found out anyway. Yeah, that you crooked. And everybody in that courtroom was crooked, including the jury, all white. Man, fuck out of here. He got a team of Avengers, and they not coming to play. Anytime you got the NAACP behind you, oh, baby. And bring him back on the stand. Yeah, I want him to lie again in front of these Avengers. Oh, they gonna rip his ass up. Oh, they gonna tear him a new asshole. Bring the daddy on the stand. Bring the other twin on the stand. Bring all these motherfuckers back. Yeah, rip him a new one. Yes. Let's go. Y'all thought he was gonna lay down? Y'all thought he was gonna lay down and just let this happen? It's a white boy somewhere in this world that did the same thing that Carmelo Anthony did, and he got 15 years. Like I said, I don't think Carmelo should get shit. Because I'm sitting here minding my business. And you coming over here to jump me?
Yeah, dumb the head.
Shit. Because I'm sitting here minding my business. And you coming over here to jump me?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Man, absolutely embarrassing.
Wow. Stuff like this is why I just shake my head when people claim that, oh, black conservatives are selling out and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, look, if I really wanted to grift, right, the easiest grift in the world is to do what Willie D is doing. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Would be to do what the amazing bottom is doing, right? it requires zero brain power to make money off of these suckers, right? Because that's what they are. They're suckers, right? These people are not very intelligent. They're not very smart. All they know is Carmelo black, Austin Metcalf white, right? That's all they know. And they have formed their opinion, right? They have said that this is what happened based off skin color and race, not based off what has actually happened, right? And my job was literally to analyze the news and to commentate based off race, right? And to push a racialized agenda, again, based off racial tribalism. That is the easiest grip in the world because the black person is always right, right? Just look at any of the videos on Willie D's channel. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter how obviously wrong the black person is. Willie D is defending the black person, right? So again, it requires no brain power to fool a bunch of people who are not very intelligent, right? To lead them astray. My job, what I do right now, I actually have to do research. I have to critically think. I have to try to not sound stupid, right? I have to at least attempt to understand what I'm talking about and to be honest, to have integrity when I am speaking to my audience, right? It actually requires brain power, right? What I do right now, while at the same time being told by other black people that I'm not really black, I'm not invited to the cookout, they don't like me because I have different opinions than them, right? I have to suffer the social consequences of what I do, right? And to top it all off, it's not just social consequences, but also when you consider the fact that you have individuals like the Amazing Bottom, who is, actively basically calling for permanent consequences against black conservatives who don't agree with his political opinions. Yeah, you got to worry about that too, right? You got to worry about these deranged lunatics who, believe in violence, okay, against people who they disagree with politically. So again, I have to take a lot of risks, right? There are a lot of consequences for what I do, for honesty, right? For actual analysis, okay? My life would be a lot easier if I was out here race hustling, right? Being a pro-black, okay? Basically telling black people whatever they want to hear, lying to black people, much easier for me to do, right? But I choose not to do that because, again, I have this thing called integrity, right? I like to be honest. I like to think. I like to read, right? Which is something a vast majority of these pro-blacks don't like to do, right? Which is why we're saying what we're saying. So, with that being said, we got to talk about some pretty devastating news here for the pro-blacky blacks who believe that Carmelo's high-powered new defense team is going to get him off, right? That there's going to be a new trial or that his conviction is going to be overturned. It's not going to happen. And this guy, who is a liberal black lawyer, right? So this is not somebody who is a conservative or is white or is racist. Like, this guy is an actual lawyer. He's a Democrat Party propagandist. And this dude on News Nation is like, this appeal for Karmelo Anthony is not going to go anywhere. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Carmelo Anthony, a teenager convicted of murder just 2 weeks ago for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet last year, has landed himself a new pro bono legal team that is major as his appeal process begins. And I want to be clear about something. These are no lightweights. And I got to ask, does he have a shot at a new trial? Now, this case drew national attention for a number of reasons, including an intensely debated self-defense claim that landed in the hands of a jury, that no black jurors were on that jury. That, remember, Anthony's black, Metcalf was white, both were 17 at the time. Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison, but his new appellate legal team is looking to change all that. This team consists of Russell Wilson II, former Dallas County prosecutor, a top-rated criminal defense attorney with 30 years experience. He's head counsel. Michael L. Ware, director of the Innocence Project of Texas, is second chair. Gary Bledsoe, president of the Texas NAACP and an attorney who specializes in civil rights law. He's third chair. Brooke Clues, described as a skilled litigator and advocate for the disenfranchised with Ben Crump Law. Ben Crump Law, of course, known for its civil rights advocacy. Sean Derdaya, a nationally recognized civil rights and criminal defense lawyer. Justin A. Moore specializes in litigation and civil rights. There is a statement from Anthony's new legal team, reads in part, quote, Our responsibility is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal. The appellate process exists for precisely this purpose. Do they have a shot? Joining me now for a closer look is National Trial Attorney for Mills and Edwards LLP, Dante Mills. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for taking the time. That's quite a team. What does it tell you?
It's quite a team. And it was assembled by Lee Merritt, who's a phenomenal long-term veteran civil rights attorney who pulled this team together. Everybody's working pro bono. And they're putting out the right statement to start. I will say that. They're not saying, oh, he's innocent. Oh, there should be a new trial. They're saying we're going to comb the facts of this case. We're going to comb the record of this trial and see if there was a legal issue. If there was, we're going to put it in front of a judge and have them determine if this appeal should move forward, if it's valid, and if there should be a new trial.
Is there really a legal issue here? Because at the end of the day, it was never really explained why he had a knife. He didn't take the stand. This idea of bringing a deadly weapon to that altercation didn't seem proportional, didn't seem like the reasonable response. What's the legal issue that they would fight for?
I think you're absolutely right. I think the defense attorney initially in this case dropped the ball with the trial because there was never anything put forward to show that he truly feared for his life. Remember, Karmelo Anthony did not take the stand, right? And you didn't have witnesses coming in saying he looked afraid. Without that evidence, I think it was almost impossible to get a verdict of self-defense. That's
So I don't understand why these people continuously try to throw Carmelo's initial team under the bus. First and foremost, the parents hired the guy, right? They decided they wanted to cheap out, but he's not a terrible lawyer, right? They're pretending like he had no defense, right? Like he had a public defender. That's not what he had. The reality is that the defense did not present any evidence of self-defense because they don't have evidence of self-defense. You can't present something that you don't have. They tried, right? They even tried to claim that Austin Metcalf stabbed himself in the chest, right? That he fell on the knife. They were desperate. But when you don't have any evidence, when you don't have any witnesses who can back up Carmelo's self-defense claim, when Carmelo is such a shithead that you can't even put him on the stand for him to explain why he acted in self-defense. If he can't explain, like, there's not much you can do, right? There's not what you can do. You know, if somebody gives you a pile of shit, right? There's not that much you can do with it, right? There's only so much you can do with it. Again, you're not gonna make a cake out of a bunch of shit, right? And that is what Carmelo had, right? That is what the Carmelo defense team had. That is what this current defense team, the appeal team, that's what they got, right? But you can sell a pile of shit to the black community.
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra. It's the truck.
Right? But you can sell a pile of shit to the black community. as long as you claim that it's pro-black, right? You can sell anything to the black community. So that's what I'm saying. It's just annoying to me that people continuously throw Mike Howard under the bus. And it's like, bro, he worked with what he had. His one-star witness turned on Carmelo. What is he supposed to do about that? Right? Like, what is he supposed to do about that? Carmelo is the one on video saying, I did it. Not alleged, I did it, right? He put his hands on me, right? I told him not to touch me, okay? He didn't say I was jumped. He was beating my ass. I feared for my life, right? He didn't say any of that. He didn't say I was scared. He didn't say any of that at all. It's not the attorney's fault that the parents refuse to apologize. It's not the attorney's fault that Carmelo refuses to apologize or to show any remorse. So again, they're blaming the attorney for stuff that I don't think that the attorney really has that much to do with. I don't think Johnny Cochran could have got Carmelo off, right? To be honest with you, because again, he doesn't have any evidence. You only can do so much when you don't have evidence and the facts do not support self-defense. It is what it is.
Separate though from legal issues. Legal errors, yeah. Legal errors. A legal error isn't we think he should have won the case. Sure. A legal error is some evidence came in that should not have.
He didn't even have a fair shot.
Well, he didn't have a fair shot because there was a legal error. It has to be grounded in a legal error, not just I think his attorney could have done better. It has to be something like this video. I think the biggest issue here is that 12 to 14 minute video that was played after Metcalf, after he was stabbed, dying. I think that was very prejudicial. There was no probative value. I don't think that added to the case, but it was so devastating to watch that video that I think a jury saw that and in their minds may have said, I feel so bad for this victim, there's no way I'm going to go self-defense. So something like that, this legal team could latch onto and say that evidence should not have been presented. It would have impacted the jury and the outcome would have been different.
I'm sure the argument, I know I'm sure they'll also make the argument that the autopsy photos were incredibly graphic too, but it would show the degree of this attack. It would show how violent it was. And the other thing I was thinking of, look, two other issues. One, no black jurors. I don't know if that's going to be an appellate issue that would be successful. And two, I think there was a question about the jury instruction about how you frame self-defense and whether if someone's the aggressor or not, can they still be acting in self-defense, if I remember correctly. Do you think any of those issues are going to be successful?
I don't think that the jury issue is going to be successful because
they're going to raise it, though.
They're going to raise it, but the prosecutors put forward a valid reason why they struck those black jurors or those potential jurors, black jurors, off the panel. They said that because they were educators, they thought educators would have this sympathy for anyone. And remember, Carmelo Anthony was a minor; he was 17 years old at the time. An educator could feel that empathy for someone and not want to convict them. As long as you have a valid reason, it's hard to prove that the only reason you voted them off is because they were black. It's a hard hurdle.
I gotta say,
yeah. So basically, what this guy's admitting is that the main thing that these people are going to focus on, because let's be real, these are race hustlers, right? These lawyers specialize in boo-hoo and crown racism. The main thing these pro-black blacks have been latching on to is this quote-unquote all-white jury, which it was not all white, right? That's a lie. And the 3 black female educators who were struck from the jury pool because of the fact that they're educators, right? Which can lead to bias. Again, the argument has been made that, hey, this is evidence of racism, that these black women were struck and they should have been allowed. And this guy is basically saying, nah, they're going to have a hard time proving that this was actually racism in court, right? Because if they were struck for legitimate reasons, this ain't going to hold up. This is what I've been explaining to you guys for the last couple of days, that it's not going to hold up. All of these lawyers know that this is not going to work. But again, unfortunately, this has become a grift, right? For a lot of these lawyers who are involved in this, they're probably receiving some type of payment, maybe in, a back channel type of way, right? We already know that the race hustlers are fundraising off of it, but also they're getting clout as well too. So when they attach their name, right? Notice how this has become a big advertising campaign. Oh, look at this high-powered team of black lawyers that are going to help Carmelo get away with murder. Right? Putting their names, their faces everywhere. That helps them get customers, right? That helps them with name recognition. The outcome doesn't matter because even if they lose the appeal, which they will, right? They will lose the appeal. It doesn't matter because the race hustlers, their target audience, they've already convinced themselves that this is racism. So it doesn't matter the outcome, right? They're going to say, well, it was racism. So win or lose, the race hustlers still win. Do you guys understand this grip? That's why I said at the beginning of this video, yeah, if I really wanted to sell out, I would be a pro-black, right? Pro-black, being pro-black is the easiest way to sell out, right? But I would have to sell my soul to be a pro-black.
Straight up.
Okay? I would have to refuse to acknowledge reality. In fact, right? And I can't do that, right? I can't sell my soul like that, right? I could never be a Tariq Nasheed type of individual, okay? It's very easy to be that type of individual. Very easy. Again, look at what these attorneys are doing. They know they're not going to win. However, it's not a situation of win-lose for them. It's win-win because they know that their target audience have already convinced themselves that, again, this is racism, right? So they can't lose. So again, it's a giant grip. Now, the other issue that he raised with the video, potentially being an issue, you don't have to worry about that, right? Like that ain't gonna overturn it either, right? Because again, the conviction is based off solid facts and evidence. It's based on body cam. It's based on witness testimony. It's based on Carmelo's own words. You don't have to worry about that, right? That's not going to affect the outcome at all. He's just saying that that's the strongest argument that they can make. Okay, if he was making an argument, that's the argument that he would make, and I think he's right. I think he's right in the sense that argument probably is a stronger argument than the whole the jury selection process was racist thing. That's BS. That ain't going nowhere, right? I mean, his thing is not going anywhere either. But I'm just saying that one is more legitimate than the whole, the jury pool selection process was racist thing, right? Like, again, none of this is going anywhere I'm just laying out the potential arguments from the defense. Again, none of them are actually going to work out.
Summer's wrapping up and life is picking back up. Early mornings, long days, and a to-do
Work out.
Race never played a role in this case. There was never an allegation that Austin Metcalf made a racial comment to Carmelo Anthony. To me, it always seemed like the media was pushing that a lot. But having said that, Austin Metcalf's dad has not been shy with the media. He's grieving. Let's be clear, he's grieving. But he blasted Anthony's parents for not coming to the sentencing. He's blasted people in the media like Sonny Austin for questions the verdict. He's also made some remarks. He called Anthony a watermelon felon, his family grifters. Is that going to affect the appeal at all?
Not at all. I think any judge will look at this and say, let's separate the two. I think it's sad that he's stooping to this level, despite the fact that he's grieving. Everyone should get an allotment for grieving. But remember, there's two families grieving here. This was, no matter how you look at it, a horrible mistake that happened. A life was taken. And Carmelo Anthony will potentially be in jail for the next maybe 20 years. So his family is grieving as well. They have the right to not want to go to a sentencing where the entire point of that sentencing is going to be to hear bad things about their son, to hear how their son impacted someone else's life. They have the right to say, I don't want to hear that. I sat through the trial. He knows he has our support. I don't want to go to the sentencing. They have the right to do that if that's the way that they grieve after their son was found guilty of murder. I don't think we should really, look to point to anyone's father in this position. Give everybody their space. Leave race out of it. Let's just look at the law and the facts.
He's got a great legal team, but they have to have the law and the facts on their side to support it. Dante Mills, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good seeing you.
All right.
Thank you.
They don't. Right. They do not have the facts and evidence on their side. That's why this is not going anywhere. This dude basically said that in a nutshell, that specifically the jury selection pool process was racist thing. That's definitely not going anywhere. They played, the next 12 to 15 minutes after the stabbing. Yeah, that's probably their strongest legal defense argument, but that's also not going anywhere. The state will argue that it was in fact necessary to show it. It's not going to lead to it being overturned or anything like that. These people just want to drag it out, right? A lot of these individuals want to drag this out and to give false hope to people that they know are not very intelligent. And that's really the sad part about it. You have people who are decently intelligent taking advantage of people who are not intelligent. And that's what's happening here. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black Conservative perspective. Peace.
I don't know who needs to hear this whole today, but I pray that person is a child of God. By the mercies of God, you are no longer
And yeah, man. So, that's going to conclude this episode. I'll see you guys Monday. I thank everybody who came out. Like, comment, subscribe. It's free for life. But yeah, what I'm going to close with is this. In order for him to get an appeal, well, not for him. See this. So let me break this down before I leave for the people who may not understand. Appeal, all that is the grounds. First of all, they got to find it. First of all, they got to find something in that case to say the state, not Carmelo's team, because we know their team made a lot of mistakes. The lawyer have recently came out and said his parents was the reason why everything went bad. The lawyer. But I digress. What I'm saying is this. First, they have to find out if there's a technicality for appeal to even be granted. That's first and foremost. And like I told y'all about the case in Florida with the woman who got I don't know what the situation was. It don't say. All it says is it was an error in the jury selection process. So he laid that out. I laid it out what happened with the jury selection process. If that's going to be the ground, maybe, I don't know. But you can't use the grounds of saying, well, he didn't get to testify. That was him and his defense's choice not to do. Maybe if they do get an appeal, he'll testify this time. But again. Let's just say for the sake of argument, he do get an appeal. Let's just say he get the appeal, right? as we know, as I just read from y'all from a case, also from experience, not my personal experience, but people I know, when you get an appeal process, a retrial, you can get less time, you can get more time, or you can get the same amount of time. It's going to be a new judge, new everything. Number two, we got to understand before we argue anything with the facts, all we got to know what the law is. Nowhere in America, I don't know about other countries, I've never been. Nowhere in America can you come into someone's space, and I'm not talking about just their home or the vehicle, their personal space. And I'm speaking from a legality standpoint, like you're in a mall and you're walking with your girlfriend and someone comes to your space and approaches you negatively or positive. It doesn't matter how they approach you. If they get into your space, your arm's length, if you punch them, whatever you do them, if they in return kill you, they cannot get a self-defense case because they were in your place. So everybody know, we understand now, we seen the camera footage, we know from under oath, the testimony, he was in the wrong place. Now, it can't be proven, but it was testified under oath, he was asked for 15 times to leave. These are the law, these are the facts, right? Also, body cam footage was out now. See, body cam footage wasn't out, so we didn't know, but the jury and all of the people on the legal standpoint, his lawyer, the jury, the judge. In the body cam footage, he says it was not alleged, it was me. Number one, that's a confession. Number two, not once in the video does he tell the police, man, they was jumping me and I had to do what I had to do. He said, I told him not to put his hands on me. He didn't tell him nothing else. So he have all these confessions. You kill somebody. So him getting a retrial and going home, him getting an appeal, winning the appeal, is self-defense. That's impossible. That is impossible. The best case scenario for Mr. Carmelo Anthony is this. He gets an appeal, and like I say, they got to find a technicality before that even happens. But he find a technicality, whatever you want to say, the jury, whatever. He get an appeal, and this time he take a manslaughter plea, which in Texas is 2 to 20. He can get anywhere from 2 to 20. Now, I want to say this also. Again, why I made this series. The way y'all acting, this might have was a test. We never know. They might appeal it, and the way you Negroes acting and reacting, guess what? If he was going to get some type of love or some type of leniency from the judge, if it's a white judge, he might not now. Because y'all done piss white people off with y'all nonsense. So even if he do get an appeal and him and his lawyer somehow work out a manslaughter deal and not go to trial and just say, look, okay, we got an appeal, can we take a plea on something? Oh yeah, I'm gonna give y'all an open plea for manslaughter. You're gonna get maxed out. So that's why I say, all y'all black people that's out there bucking the system and doing all this and all that, all y'all doing is making it work for y'allself. And not just from a standpoint of the judicial system in every part of your life. I thank y'all so much for coming out Friday. Y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. Like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. Be blessed. I see y'all Monday. And I don't know, like I say, I want to do a specific episode on the parents. So I don't know if I'm gonna have one more part of this because this episode lasted pretty long. I covered a lot. But I'm gonna for sure have at least one more. I just want to deal with the parent, just to show parent. Because again, this channel is a channel that I want people to learn. I want people to watch. I want people to say, okay, damn, what am I doing? What could I be doing wrong that could possibly this happen to my child? What signs are there that I'm ignoring? What, how can we fix it? This is a solution-based, solution-oriented channel. So once again, I thank y'all so much for coming out. It's so many comments. That we was here for over 3 hours. I'm not gonna be able to read them all, but God bless you all. Thank y'all for y'all engagement. Thank y'all for viewing. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the subscriptions. And I see y'all Monday. God bless.
I could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit because the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunner, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See, mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. What's up with that? You popping bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules, and we don't got hungry. These lanes became food. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose, and I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the fence, they never coming home, can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for